Good evening. Well, not really evening. Good afternoon, I should rather say. Hello there. Hello. Hi, hi, hi. We're going back to Rise for a little bit. Shall we? Shall we? I haven't been playing Rise in a while. Well, that's not quite true. I haven't been playing Rise in a while on stream, is what I should rather say. Oh, forgot to fixate this. There we go. Haven't been playing Rise in a while on stream. Why is that? Hey, Smiling! Long time no see. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Have a little bit of a headache, but other than that, I'm doing just well. How are you doing? How are you doing? You know why? The last time I got an update from you, I think you were just released from the hospital, something along those lines. I don't know, I'm seriously thinking about quitting university. Oh no, what does lead to this decision of yours? Are you not happy with the courses right now? Is it too difficult? Do you think you are not going to get a job in the field of... Oh, hello there, Sleepy!
That's quite big.
Nice to see you, nice to see you.
Impressive.
It's impressive now. Sleepy, if you want to join, #! Lobby, and you know how to get in here. But no, please, Smiling, let me know. Talk to me, talk to me. Inform me about what's going on in your life. I honestly want to know. So, there's not really anything specific that I need to hunt. So the plan for the day is basically just Anomaly quest grinding. There's not anything specific that I need to hunt. There are a couple of things that I might end up hunting, because I have a Diablos and a Lunar Garon quest now. It's difficult for me, like I feel French is not for me. Yeah, that's fair then. It's always hard with university and stuff like that, because personally I am someone who quit out of university as well. I went to my university to study biology for 6 semesters, and then I quit because I was of the opinion, even though biology interested me as a topic, that I wouldn't really be happy or capable to find a job that would satisfy me for the rest of my life in that field. I think it will say to my parents, it will hurt them a lot. Yeah, my parents were not too fond of me quitting university either back in the day. But at the end of the day, it is your life, so you have to know what's best for you. Even though other people around you might be unhappy about it. Our parents, most of the time, just want us to get as high an education as possible. And while that does make sense to me, it also is is a matter of, you know what, sometimes just the education is not the right way. So, what are we going to hunt? I think I kind of want to go for Lunar Garon. Let's lock the quest, because it's the only Lunar Garon quest I ever done. Maybe I'll join the military 2 years, cause nation calling, then maybe I will look for a job. I mean, that would be an option, definitely. The military always makes me a bit nervous as an option, I do have to say. Just because it's a matter of, because the military, you can't leave anymore until the time's over once you join it. But maybe that's just me and being a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? A little wary when it comes to military stuff. Or even trying to be a firefighter if I can. Oh, honestly, that would be an interesting career path. I think for a firefighter you have to be very physically fit, but it is definitely one of the more noble professions in my opinion. It's literally a profession about saving lives, so... You would definitely do a service to your community if you became a firefighter, that's for sure. But the most important thing is don't rush anything right now. So I think I need to turn up the volume, because this game is basically muted right now. Give me 1 second. Audio, where is it? Let's just turn it all up to roughly 45. I think that's a good idea. But yeah, so the best thing is just sleep it over and see what kind of decision kind of feels best in a couple of days. Yeah, I took some time off to think about that. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. So there we go. UI volume. I guess I don't really care much about UI volume. Okay, I think maybe I'll have to turn it up a little more, but let's leave it like that for a while now. Okay, so we've got our Lunar Garon quest, we got our Fire Hammer, and we got a target. So, let's go. Let's freaking go. I do need to redo a lot of my armor sets, because I am roughly at the point where I can augment most of my armor sets. Or rather, most of my armor sets are already augmented. So I can probably exchange a couple of skills and maybe add a couple more to them. I'm also at a point where I can finally start to upgrade most of my armor. Hey, not my armor, what am I talking about? My weapons. I've augmented them up to the next augmentation slot. I do need some blue scales, and the item is not the item name is not blue scales, but it is a scale that is blue. So let's see if we can get some of those from Lunagaron. I honestly have no idea who drops them. Maybe it's just a matter of the quest needs to be of a higher level for anything to drop them. That might actually be it, but we'll see, we'll see. So, whom are we going to get? Espinas is probably closer and generally tends to be easier to get because... I mean, I guess he's not going to sleep. Espinas only usually sleeps at the start when the quest is about him. It's something that I have noticed. Oh, we're going... You know what? Let's take Pyre out first, because I am close to Pyre right now. Pyre should be over here somewhere. Ah, yeah, there you are. Good morning, beautiful! There we go. So, roar time. Yeah, there's the roar. And then let's try to get you without too much trouble. Oh, you actually hurt me there. Ow! You did hurt me there a lot. I'm not going to die to the Pyraknakadaki that I'm trying to get for a mount, so let's just not do it, shall we? Also, is that one... Was that one of the ones that was existing here naturally in terms of the Pyrantulas or whatever they are called? Or can she actually just spawn some that are hunting you down? I think these are the naturally happening ones. Okay, resharpen real quick and then let's move on with our lives. I recently had a situation, I think it was in World, where I got exploded off a mount because I was kind of still stuck with blast powder, which was very weird because usually you're immune to basically anything while you're on a mount, but apparently blast powder can still ruin your day. Where the fuck? Oh, he's in the lower caverns. Gotcha, gotcha. Lunagaron. Let's see if anyone's going to join me. A lot of people can't join me at the level that I'm currently at anymore, is something that I noticed. I mean, it's only a 65 quest, but that might still be too high for a lot of people. To be fair, I didn't really grind the game for a while now as well. Oh, I never really noticed that she's just turning her head around for that move. Hey, okay, just when I was mentioning that, I don't know if we're going to get any helpers there. Oh god, and it hasn't a lot in World. Really, because it only happened once to me in World recently. It never happened during my original 1400 hours of playing World. Maybe I always got rid of blast powder before I did, before I got on the mount or something like that. But I was really confused when it happened to me, like, so is that something new? What the fuck is going on here? And could you let me go past, please? Thank you. So, we do have a bowgun user amongst us, Jojo Kev. Let's see what he can do for me, Jojo Kev. Let's see what we can get from this Lunagaron. I haven't hunted a Lunagaron in forever. I mean, I didn't hunt a lot of monsters in forever. Mostly I didn't hunt monsters anymore that are not available in investigations to me right now. Because that's the thing right now. I do need to grind the investigation level. So I'm kind of unmotivated to do anything that's not just the investigation levels. That's one of the weird things with Sunbreak compared to Base Rise. In Base Rise, I felt way freer to explore different weapons and just mess around with a lot of shit. And here in... Ow! No! There we go. Okay, you know what? We do not have protective polish, but we'll have to. I will look if I can join you, even though I'm not at this level. I mean, we can definitely try lower level quests if you're willing to join me. I really try again. Literally don't care what I do. I just need to increase my level. And since no one was here at the start, I was just like, you know what? Let's try the Lunar Garon quest. I haven't hunted the Lunar Garon in a while. I think I do have enough time to sharpen up now. There we go. Also, I don't think I echoed yet, did I? Yeah, I probably didn't have time to echo wave. Yeah, my arm is not blue. Is it even called echo wave now that I think about it? Hard to say. Hoppa! Bad boy. He's moving around a lot. I'm so not used to fighting this monster anymore. But yeah, that's kind of the plan for the day. Just increase our level according to... Ow! Okay, I was too close. And is he out of here? No, he's just following Jojo Kev. Give me 1 second, I will be with you in a moment. I just need to heal up first. I do have a Giratodos quest that I use to grind a lot, because I do have a very high rank Giratodos quest right now with a 5 faint limit, and it's roughly, I think, investigation level 60 or something. So it's quite useful to do with randos. Because not only is Giratodos one of the easier monsters probably to farm at that level, he also gives you a lot of extra investigations because of all the breaks that happen with his mud and the amount of times that you can literally just feint freely against him. Makes this quest very comfortable. Ow! Okay, that's bad. Could I heal up real quick? Thank you. I'm very happy that I do have another player with me right now, because at roughly around level 60 plus for Anomaly investigation, it can become quite tedious. Hey there, Sleepy. It can become quite tedious when you're going after stuff yourself with no one else. On your oh, is he getting out of here? No, he's just trying to follow Jojo Cat. Come on now, big guy. Now that I look at the desktop audio, I think the audio levels are probably fine. Alright. So much for that. Let's move on. Let's move on with our lives and see if we can get another... Hey, there we go. Another anomaly investigation. Yeah, I still have it a rough time to motivate... I do have it a little rough right now to motivate myself to play Anomaly Investigations, but the fact that they announced Flaming Espinas kind of gave me a little bit of my fire back, so let's see if we can keep it burning. Shiny! Hi, I'm here to learn how to play Monster Sanctuary PvP. Can you help me? But of course I can help you. You might say this in jest, but do you really think I have not memorized shit tons of knowledge I accumulated over the years? You think I'm not ready to launch into an essay about Monster Sanctuary PvP at a moment's notice? Oh, then I guess you don't know me as well as I thought, Shiny. I'm doing good, I'm doing good. I have a little bit of a headache, but other than that I'm doing great. How are you doing on this fine weekend, Shiny? Do you finally have your Luma Cycrocs? Have you been farming it a little more ever since you went offline? Finally you're knocked over. So about Monster Sanctuary PvP. So there are a lot of ways you can go about Monster Sanctuary PvP. You can basically ignore Monster Sanctuary elements, because during PvP you don't have as much preparation time when it comes to elements. So more important than the element is your overarching combat strategy. And there are a lot of strategies. You can go full defense, you can go full offense. Not yet. 37 hours still, alright. I mean, there's still a little bit of time left, but knowing how long Luma hunting can take, who knows if that will be enough time. Hey, and he's down again. Let's heal on his face. Wait. Oh shit, this set does not have blood, right? Yeah, I honestly think you would probably really enjoy Monster Sanctuary PvP, because I've seen amazing stall teams in Monster Sanctuary PvP. I've literally seen a stall team once that did not attack a single time. It literally just healed itself and debuffed the enemy while it was healing itself, and killed you passively by just shielding and healing the entire time. But there is RNG. Oh, come on, you Koromon lover. Don't tell me that you are scared of RNG all of a sudden. You are the one that abused 5+ turns of sleep. I do know you. I've seen your streams. I have video evidence! I think my dad will choose violence if I want to quit university. Like, he will beat me. Jesus Christ. Please tell me that you're joking about this, but because that sounds very serious, smiling. Like, holy heck. There's literally no good excuse for physical violence in a household. Yeah, that really doesn't sound good. I mean, my parents were definitely disappointed, but physical violence was a threat that I thankfully never had to face in my household. So it's kind of shocking that that seems to be in the cards for you there. Ow! I mean, at the end of the day, it's your life. You are the one that's supposed to decide what you're going to do with it, in my opinion there. Oh! Ah, fuck, I missed. Oh, hey! Looks like you were able to join Sleepy. That's nice. Oh, but yeah, I do hope that... Oh god. Get away, get away! Ow! Oh, fuck. That one hurt a lot. And he's out. Or is he... No, he's not going for me, he's out. Ah, but yeah. I really hope that was mostly said in jest, because if not, you might want to contact local authorities, because that really does not sound good. And I'm not even joking right there. There's never a good reason to use violence unless someone else started it first. Oh, it seems like you're going through a really rough patch right now. I hope it's gonna work out for you. I really do. Like, keep me posted, keep me up to date, but as I just said, at the end of the day, it's your life that you're going to live, and your decisions what you're going to do with it. Like, it's literally not even like you don't want to do anything with your life. You do have a couple of options in mind already. So, there we go. Oh, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of chaos going on right now. I can't find him. Oh, there he is. Sorry if I'm not really, if I'm kind of bouncing back from a heavy topic to gameplay right now. I honestly just don't know how to add anything to the topic. Contacting a crisis hotline or local authorities, as has already been mentioned, seems to be the best course of action if a threat of physical violence is actually present. Oh no! Shit. Is actually present. But yeah. But yeah, there's never a good excuse for something like that. Ah, so, okay, so I'll just bounce back to the video game in a kind of topic, because I honestly don't feel qualified to really discuss much else about this on my stream here. It's not to disregard your situation in any way, shape or form, and I hope it all works out for you, because I think you really should need to contact someone if that's an honest threat, but I really just can't add anything to it, I think. Ah, okay, so Lunar Garon Hunt. We did have 2 feints already, because he's a little bit of a bitch there, but it was to be expected. Starting around in rank 60, everything's a bit of a bitch. This is the Rise game that I'm trying to get you to play. Well, I am trying to get you to play Monster Hunter in general, and personally speaking, the game that I would rather get you to play is Monster Hunter World, the predecessor to Rise, because in my opinion, World, including Iceborne, is the better game than Rise. But since I also know that I will have an easier time convincing you to start Rise than World, just because you do know a couple more people that play World already, I will settle for Rise. They keep having advice like you can do it without keep harding, something like that won't help. Ugh. Stuff like that is why I have very little faith in most authorities. Stuff like that is just the worst. Oh, Sleepy, you're playing hunting horror now. Sorry, I think a mental health professional law enforcement panel would be better than Twitch chat, I'm sorry to say. Yeah, basically. I'm very sorry to hear that those things are going on at your place right now. Oh Jesus, the Lunar Garen is out of shape right now. I guess out of shape probably the wrong way of putting it, rather in rough shape. Also, we might not be able to capture him, but we are still going to be able to hinder him with traps and tricks. Oh, come on, you're literally one paw into my trap. There we go. There we go. Since we are too faint in already, we do need to kind of utilize all the tools available to us. Oh, fuck. Where did the blast powder come from? Oh, shit. No, not again, not again. I'm not going to faint twice, still. Okay, I do have one more trap. And I'm going to use it. You're not going to utilize your rage mode any longer than it's necessary. Okay, someone else is mounting him. That's good. That gives me time to sharpen. But yeah, this would be right. In case I can get you to play that, I'm already fine. But as I already said, you can get Monster Hunter World for cheaper, and it is, in my opinion, the better game, because Monster Hunter World was programmed with consoles and PC in mind, while Rise was programmed with the Nintendo Switch in mind. So, as you might be able to imagine, Rise is kind of a little less quality in terms of the visuals, the physics engine, stuff like that. It's by no means a bad game, but it's definitely not as high def and stuff as World. And also the world does not really feel as responsive and alive. I do have a good video from Team Darkside there that I could use to tell you, where there are a lot of comparisons between Rise and World. And I do like the video a lot, because it kind of inspired me to go back to my World right now, because I don't know if you've ever seen any of my streams yet, but I am currently replaying World. Now that I think about it, no, you did definitely drop by in one of my World streams as well. Sounds like I should replay Koromon. What? How was any of the things that I just said inspiring you to replay Koromon? At which point did you hear the phrase, but goddamn, Koromon is a way better game than anything else? And hey, we did it. That's the Lunar Garen. Inspiration strikes at random times, what can I say? Fair enough, fair enough. I'm kind of happy that we did manage to get this quest done. Let's see what kind of a new quest we're getting. Vulcan, what kind? That's the Payakadaki lands. What can I say except you're welcome? Ooh, that's nice. That's the new headpiece. I still need to do the new event quest, but not right now, not right now. I'm honestly considering maybe just waiting for a couple more event quests to accumulate and then go for them. Or maybe we're just tossing it in a little later on. Might happen as well. Sometimes I just hear a ringing in the back of my head whenever I have my headphones on. It does make me nervous, because I always think that I'm missing the doorbell constantly. Maybe it's a weird feedback loop from having my ears closed off by headphones or something like that. Who knows, who knows. I mean, you can definitely replay Koromon if you want to. You can definitely go for it. It would definitely be a change of pace, other than seeing you run away from the next couple of thousand Psychrocs that you're gonna encounter. So there we go. There we go. We did it! Sleepy, damn, your HR is higher than I remembered. Okay, I dedicated my life to Psychrocs. If you wanna choose the quest, Sleepy, feel free to. I don't really want anything specific. I just want to see what kind of new investigations I would have available to me right now. Slaying, breaking, and hunting helpers. There we go. So, we do have... That's the new... Oh, Rathalos. I don't think I had a Rathalos yet. High Aurora Somnacans. Oh, Mitsutsune plus an Elder Dragon. Interesting. And Almudron. Okay, that's a couple of new ones, a couple of ones that I didn't have before. I'm still lacking the Kazu quest that I would need. Daimyo Hermitov 50 plus. Can I Okay, let's see. Do I have a Daimyo Hermitor for you? Can I target? There we go. The Daimyo. Okay, I don't think I have any Daimyo Hermitor quests looking at my list right now because I don't see a Daimyo Hermitor recommendation there. So, sorry about that. I can provide with the Daimyo Hermitor. And I kind of doubt that you could provide me with a level 61 castle. So I guess random quests it is. Random quests it is. And the question is, which random quest? We could go for more Lunagaron. I mean, it is a monster where we would probably need the materials. Afflicted Aurora Somna Camp at level 66. That sounds like madness to me. Shogun Senator is the only one I have right now. I kind of deleted everything that was beneath level 40 recently. Ooh, that's a high level Lagombi. You know what, let's just pick whatever. Let's just pick whatever. And by whatever I mean probably Lunagaron again, because we haven't fought Lunagaron in a while. Just going to post the Lunagaron quest again. Just so I don't have to switch my mantles constantly. My mantles? My weapon! What the fuck am I talking about? So, and honestly, let's see if I can eat for insurance, because it feels like I might have to eat for insurance. Dango Kava, that is not insurance. It's not bad, but it's definitely not insurance. I do have a lot of outfit vouchers lying around right now, so I guess I should probably look for a new outfit pretty soon, because right now this is my latest creation. But I want something new, but I don't feel inspired with all of the new stuff right now. Or with any of the new stuff, I should rather say. Okay, why the fuck are both monsters that are not Lunagaron cramped up on the left side of the map? Is a good question that I would like to have an answer to. Yeah, both Camellios and Espinos are over there. Weird. Weird. Okay, let's as always get our attack burst, because why the fuck wouldn't I? It's a shit ton of attack burst just available right next to a camp. And then I am going to get one of the big guys, one of the big guns. Big. And since we're speaking of things that I can convince you of, Shiny, I don't know if you're still here, I'll just assume that you're lurking in the background hunting for your Psychroc still. I mean, there's always Monster Hunter Stories as your slippery slope available to you. You can always just play a creature collector Monster Hunter game. Stories is even one of the better creature collectors in my opinion. Very unique. Some of the mechanics are kind of weird, one might say, and at the end of the day, it is kind of very fancily dressed up rock, paper, scissors. I'm just trying not to cry. Oh no! How many Psychroxes are you in by now? How many encounters are you through? Because the last time I watched you, I think it was Plush that calculated at how many encounters you were at. And it was something in the thousands, wasn't it? Just hit 37 hours? You could play through the entirety of Hollow Knight in the time it takes you to find the frog, my man. Is it worth it? Is it slightly off-colored Toad really worth that? I mean, I could understand if it was for something like Waspin or so, one of your actual favorites, but I mean, I don't think you dislike Cycroc, but I don't think you love him that much, do you now? Jesus Christ, 37 hours, it's almost my entire work week, Shiny! Cycroc is in my top 3. That does not answer my question if it is worth it. Wait, Modico! Wait, is that the Modico Kyoho, aka Bad at Video Games? I kind of doubt it, but it would be a nice little coincidence. Would be very funny if my favorite VTuber would randomly join my hunting lobby, but I'm pretty sure she would be very unwilling to play Monster Hunter Rise right now. She is very much of the opinion, old Monster Hunter good, new Monster Hunter bad when it comes to stuff like that. Also, I'm pretty sure she would not play the Weep Sword. My ace tam, alright, I mean then best of luck to you in your ace tam. Let's see how many hours it will still take you. You might argue that, okay, you are already 37 hours into this, so it can't take that much longer. And to that I would answer that's just the sunken cost fallacy speaking, my friend. Boom! And another smack, and the charge up. Hey, and there's the knockout that I so dearly desire. Oh, sorry about that, Sleepy. That's the problem, right? I don't know how I hit you there. Usually I try to stand on the other side of the head just so I don't launch anyone else. But for some reason he's... Oh god. Okay, you know what? I'm going back to the other hitting strategy right now because apparently his head is just too small for me. This point I've dedicated so much time to it, you might as well see it through. I mean, as I've already established, the chances are not getting better. But no, I'm just tackling you. Best of luck to your hunt. I hope you get your toast sooner rather than later, because don't get me wrong, I like Cyclops. I do like Cyclops a lot. I would not be willing to sacrifice an entire work week for him, but I do enjoy Cyclops. I think I'm kind of lucky in a way that most of the time I think most Lumas look worse than... Ow, oh god. That's bad. That's bad. Most Lumas look worse than the originals, so I kind of don't want them anyway, even for a tem that I actually enjoy. Like, my beloved Midrasil, in my opinion, looks way better in non-Luma than Luma. Just because you're smart. Ah, shiny! Don't put your own light under the desk. I don't know if you can say that in English, but that's a German saying. You don't put your light under the desk. And it basically says, take praise where praise worth. You managed to make it entertaining. People show up for your Luma hunting streams. And that's saying something. There are a lot of people that would not get anyone to watch them while they were doing something like Luma hunting. And ow! Oh god, where's the wide range there? Healing for all! There we go. There we go. If I was smart, I would not actually keep playing games with diminishing returns. Oh, well, I guess that's not really true. Monster Hunter is actually a game that gets me a couple of viewers. I do... Oh, sorry about that. I do love statistics and analytics. I really like analyzing stuff and how stuff performs. It's one of the reasons why I'm not really playing as much Cult of the Lamb right now, because I noticed that Cult of the Lamb has a little less viewer retention right now. Mostly because, let's be honest, almost everyone is playing Cult of the Lamb at the moment. So I've decided to go back to my older strategy of capitalizing on games that have been popular some time ago but don't necessarily see as many streamers these days anymore. That works out quite well for me. And another thing that, let's be honest, does work out well in that regard is the entire playing with viewer tags in Monster Hunter. Because people are actually looking for people with only very few viewers just so they can join the lobby and play along. It is a strategy. It is a strategy for me to gain people to play with and for other people to have people to play with. Because, let's be honest, Monster Hunter is always more fun with other people. Oh, sorry about that, Moriko. Didn't see you there. I mean, most games are more fun with other people. There are very few exceptions. I guess you could make a point for horror games, because with horror games, and this time around I'm actually using digital express, because horror games are always more creepy and scary when there are less people involved. So by actually adding people, if you want to get scared by a horror game, you would probably take away from it. But aside from that, you will be better off with other people along the lines. And, well, you know what, let's just renew it. Some people might even argue, I mean, generally speaking, I am a big advocate of Monster Hunter having adequate scaling for all the difficulty settings right now. For those of you that don't know, pre-World, Monster Hunter's entire Master or /G rank back in the day didn't have scaling for less than 4 people. Like, seriously. No matter how big your group was, you would have to go at a monster with a health pool scaled for 4 people, which, if you didn't have friends playing Monster Hunter, like I did back in the day, was a problem. And hey, Eka! Nice to see you, nice to see you. How you doing? Do you want to join us? We do have an open lobby that you can just join with exclamation mark lobby right now. We're just doing some special investigation farmings, some afflicted investigations, because it's like, at some point we gotta do it anyway, and maybe we are all more motivated for it when we're doing it on stream. How you going? How you going? How goes the keyboard building? Or whatever you're up to. Maybe this, maybe university is keeping you busy right now. Okay, back to my beloved Lunar Garon. Is he my beloved Lunar Garon? Don't get me wrong, I like Lunar Garon, but I think I shouldn't call him my beloved. I like all of the 3 lords, but my favorite is probably Garangalm. I kind of have a tendency to like liking the underrated monsters, because of course I do have a couple of mainstays that are just fan favorites, like Nergigante for example. I don't think anyone's gonna argue that Nergigante is not an awesome monster, but I do know that my boy Almudron, for example, does not have the biggest fan club. Definitely not. Neither does my girl Gamoth. I just get back from the hospital gathering data. Oh, alright, alright. That's good. I was worried there for a second when I saw the word hospital out of the corner of my eyes and was like, oh no, what the fuck happened? But okay, if it's just for data collection, then that's good, that's good. How does your thesis go? Has your thesis been approved yet? I don't quite remember. If you told me last time around that it already has been approved, that you're waiting for approval or whatever was going on. Oh fuck! Well, the toad got me. The toad got everyone. Once again, the toad reigns supreme. I did not think it would get me all the way up in the air, but apparently it can. So let's heal up, heal up, heal up. Oh, he's mounted. Okay, that's time for protective polish. There we go. It's been approved! Oh, that's great to hear, that's great to hear. And I wish you the best of luck with your thesis. Keep me updated with that. Will you? Keep me updated there. That's pretty cool, that's pretty cool. I think that's probably the first big step, getting it approved, right? Because everything else that will come after is still a lot of work, but that's just the first big milestone reached. So, let's heal up before we engage again. There we go. I think I should be able to break his back spikes, right? Yeah! Haha! Wait, no, that's not his back spikes. What else did just break? I want your back spikes. I don't need them for anything specific, but they are still unbroken and it bothers me. Oh! I mean, I'm doing a fashion damage there, so I don't think it's all that bad, but still, I'm surprised that they are still alright. Most of the things about this monster are broken already. And the thing that he constantly falls over does not really help him much either. There we go, there we go. I'm looking forward to reaching rank, I think 80 or 81 was it, according to a friend of mine, where I actually unlocked the 5-star special investigation, afflicted investigation. Or afflicted hunt, I should say. I don't know. It's not really early in the morning in my country right now, but my brain does not work all that well right now. I have been kind of drained by my last work. I think the fact that I was staying at home during my 1.5 weeks of sick leave kind of made me forget the tiredness of just working for a full week, and now I'm just not in shape anymore. Good thing is I don't need to be in shape for much longer, because I only have 1 more work week ahead of me. Then I'm out of a job for a while, but hopefully not for long. I should be back into another job within the next couple of weeks right after. Hey, have fun lurking, Shiny, have fun lurking. And good luck with whatever you are doing as well in the meantime. I'll just assume that it's either the frog or some housework or something like that. That's going to take your attention away. Best of luck with your frog hunt if that's what you're going for. So, it's kind of fun, by the way, because right now, when everyone at my workplace is like, oh my god, we'll miss you once you're gone, and you were so good at doing your job. Okay, try again. My job's not all that complicated, and by not all that complicated I mean it's literally not complicated at all. But I am one of the few people they ever had that actually took care of his job decently there. Because most of the people that work at, I think the literal translation of the job name would be a sorter. It's basically someone who guards the door and only lets people in that do have an appointment, stuff like that. And oh, come on, you're right next to the trash. Come on, my man. Just go in there. Shall we? Yeah, that's what I like to see from you. And the one that worked there when I still started my job was one of the laziest guys I've ever met. Because don't get me wrong, I don't see a point in killing yourself for a job. Going by modern management status, I would probably be a quiet quitter because I only work within my working hours and I'm not doing anything that I'm not paid for. But those things that I'm paid for, I do. I do them well, I do them consistently, and I do them without much of an issue. Come on now, Luna Garon. You don't have much life left in you. You can. Oh god. Ow. And apparently that's a rarity in the job that I was at, because most of the people that did the job were pretty much incompetent before me. Hey! So they're kind of dreading my replacement a little, but she looked motivated, My job, yeah. What's the best way to describe my job? I mean, I tried to describe it. The literal translation is sorta. My job is basically just monitoring a checklist of appointments, only allowing people that do have an appointment in, and once and informing people about people in the office about who arrives, checking that everyone has all of their shit in order before they enter the office, stuff like that. There's not really a good translation. Wait, I do have another job in mind that I could compare it to. I just need to look up the English translation. Give me a second. That would be the Türsteher. A bouncer, yeah. It's pretty much a bouncer for a magistrate. That's the best way to put it. So kind of like everyone's secretary. Yeah, basically, in that direction. Always fun to wonder why I got hit like on the two screen and see how you hit me. Look, although Luna Garon has a very small head, Elemental Hammer kind of is a little bit of a risky fighting style against monsters with small heads and big groups. But yeah, so not necessarily like a secretary, but it goes in that direction, I would say. It's going in that direction, alright. So, do we have anything new that's interesting now? Low-key doubt it, but you never know. Do I have your daimyo now, maybe? Nope, none of these are a daimyo, but I got a shit ton of them. Oh, interesting! There's Apex Azuros in this quest. Oh, you got his mantle twice, that's nice. It's interesting that they are going to put Apex monsters into some of those quests. I didn't see that one coming. Are we going to hunt Luna Garon further? No, you know what, it's time for a change of pace. Because I still also have a Diablos. I think Diablos is one of the monsters where you do get some of the rarer drops from as well. I don't know which of them, but some of the light blue materials you can only get from Diablos, Zinogre, and I think maybe Raffalos? I don't know. Diablo, was he weak to ice or water? I never remember. It's one of the two, that's what I'm sure about. Would love to join your lobby, but I'm really tired. Ah, no worries, no worries. It's a shame, but there will be a day when we will hunt together, Eka. Don't you worry about that. It's not like I'm going to drop Monster Hunter as a game overnight. One day we shall hunt together. What am I looking for right now? Ah, yes, Diablos. So Ice Baby is the biggest weakness. There we go. I don't really have a modern ice. You know what? I'm just going to go for my immortal set. I think my immortal set is probably going to be the best idea. Also, I don't really need these right now. I kind of want to try something because I did craft. Where are they? Where are they? Defense? No. Show me the skill. Those new Defiance. Let's see if I can slot in 5 levels of Defiance. That would be interesting because I haven't run Defiance yet. But on paper, Defiance looks like an insanely powerful skill. Okay, I need one more slot. Hey, and apparently I do have one more slot. There we go. Don't know why there were a couple of free slots in there. Maybe I got them from upgrading the armor. I don't remember. But now we are truly immortal, I would say. I didn't really plan on going back to Sunbreak today because I have been taking a little bit of a break from it, and right now I will only do the occasional Sunbreak stream, but maybe I'm going to stream it a little more again once the next big update at the end of September comes out, depending on how many new monsters they are actually going to add there. There'll definitely be at least 1 or 2 days of long Sunbreak streams. Just because we do have to farm a flaming Regios. Wait, not Regios. Espinas, that's the name I'm looking for. But yeah, I do understand that when you're tired, you can't really play all that well. I did have some moments like this after work this week as well, when I was like, I'm so tired, I don't really feel like playing video games right now. But if I don't play them now, then I won't have a chance because I will just be back at fucking work. That's the weird thing. That's the weird thing about video games as a hobby. It takes kind of a lot of your own energy input. So it's a lot of the times you will just not be in a shape where you can or want to play video games. So, let's take a little bit of this, a little bit of column A, and how about column B? And then let's try hunt the Diablos. Is there... Okay, wait, there's a Ragnar Kadaki over there as well. Jojo Cave! Hey! Looks like someone else is hunting special investigations right now. Why am I calling them special investigations constantly? Anomaly investigations. That's what they are. Oh, and there are a couple of red little things down there. You take the right one, I take the left one. There we go. So I think the Diablos is right next to a Pookie, so I don't think there's any reason to bring anything. You can just literally drop down there. Is it a Pookie? Might be something else. Nope, it is a Pookie. Hello, Pookie! And Pookie, over there, there's the target, come on. You know what you have to do. So, and there is the big boy. I should probably... Well, I don't have armor potions right now. Oh, and whoop, so much for that. And the 1, and the 2. Oh, and I think you are mountable, right? Ah, well, yeah, you are. Okay, so under these circumstances, let's just... Oh! Dang it, I wanted to wall bang you first, but apparently I hit Pookie. Is someone going to take Pookie? Wait, how the fuck did I... Okay, I don't understand how I just got Pookie. I definitely didn't even touch this Pookie. But apparently it was enough to mount him. Okay, we get in there. And 1, and 2. And a little bit of poison to finish it off. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright, so far so good. Around rank 60 and up, I do feel a little more worried when it comes to those hunts, because... Oh. Ah, yes, and Moriko is also hunting pets right now, apparently. Also farming special investigation rank. I guess it does make sense. There are probably not all that many people around this rank already that can join these quests, and there are probably not all that many quests around this rank going on right now. So it does kind of make sense. Ow! That's all the damage you did to me. Like, seriously, that's it. Jesus Christ. Okay, my Defiance set is once again insane. My pure immortality set. Sometimes it might be a little boring to play, but you can't argue with results. But maybe only grazed me, so I should not be too impatient there. Let's see if another hit from you is going to do a little more. Hey, hi Ragnar. How's it going? Also, where's the Diablos going? Hey, there we go. Ow! Ragnar, that's not what you're here for. Come on. Yes. That's what I want to see. Violence against the Diablos. Could you stop that, you bloody spider? I did watch a couple of TikToks recently about the woman that keeps a jumping spider as her pet, and the thing has quite a lot of personality, like way more personality than anyone would expect from something like a spider. Most spiders, I think, do kind of lack personality in a sense. Like, it's definitely unusual to find a spider with a lot of personality. But among spiders, yeah, that's more of the damage that I would expect from a monster of that status. Where was I? But jumping spiders are kind of special in a way, because jumping spiders seem to be a lot smarter than most other spiders. They're also a lot more curious than a lot of other spiders. Maybe because they have to actively hunt for their prey and therefore have developed a way more active brain. A lot of spiders literally just sit in their webs all day. So I guess if you are an ambush predator... Alright, we do get earplugs now when the monster is in a rage. Ow! Jesus Christ. That's some insane damage you have there, my friend. The fact that you can literally still two-shot me with the amount of defense I've got going on is low-key insane, but... You do you. Okay, I think around this rank it's probably going to be better to go for pure offense rather than defense. Because at some point defense is just diminishing return, and I think we are getting to that point. I should probably go for an offensive raw set as well now that I think about it. Because right now I do have very different elemental damage sets. Like I have crit elemental damage, I have regular elemental damage, and so on and so forth. And I have my raw set built for defense. But I don't really have a raw set built for offense. I'm the red one, ain't I? Yeah, I'm the red one. So maybe that's something I want to work towards. I don't know, it's always weird because I kind of want to experiment with new weapons as well, but Sunbreak makes it very hard to really do that, just because there are so many upgrades you need, or rather you can get for your stuff right now, that I don't really feel motivated to switch to other weapons and then don't have the upgrade there. I guess I could use the weapons in their unupgraded state and then... Come on, do you want to do it again? No. No doing it again. I guess I could use weapons in their unupgraded state and only really do the big investments into my hammer set. That might be what I'm gonna end up doing. Okay, careful now, heal up. Ow! I can't see shit right now. Hey! Don't know which part you broke. Well, now your second horn broke. I don't know, Diablo's horns always seem a little too fragile for what they are, in my opinion. Like, that's a giant monster. You can literally ram shit down. And horns should probably be one of the most stable parts of its body, but in Sunbreak his horns break so fast if you're going for blunt damage. I don't know if he was enraged already. Just dependent on that, it might be interesting to know if earplugs actually... Oh god, that's bad. Ow. If earplugs actually triggers before the roar happens when it comes to Defiance. That's what I wanted to say. Because that one was one of my big questions about Defiance in general. Are you able with Defiance to literally counter the roar that happens whenever a monster in a rage? Because if so, then Defiance is definitely one of the best skills out there for level 1 slots. Like, Jesus Christ. Even if it isn't, then Defiance is probably going to be one of my most important level 1 slots from here on out. Because right now the best level 1 slot in most scenarios, in my opinion, are 1 level of flinch free, 3 levels of speed sharpening, and I think that's about it. Oh god, that's a bad... Oh, that's a nice trap. The nice trap for allowing us to do some nice damage. What other good level 1 slots are there? Also, apparently I don't have flinch free in my set right now, because I did notice that a couple of smaller hits from my fellow hunters did knock me over and out. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying I need to adjust this set apparently. Boop, boop. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Nope, not really. Not really going to hurt. I kind of want to see what's my defense right now. Where is my defense? Hunter rank, Anomaly Research. Ah, why is my defense so low? I am technically able. Maybe did I eat for defense and did I use? Well, I definitely didn't use armor for axe, that's for sure. So those might have a lot to do with why my defense is not that high. But I do know that my immortality set can go up to 1130 something. It can be quite insane. All the hammer users sharpening their hammer. So let's get the Diablos, shall we? So far this is going pretty well. I was a little worried that Diablos might prove more difficult than Lunagaron, but I would say that he's either roughly around the same level or maybe even easier. Also, I don't think I've used a single Sonic Bomb ever since Sunbreak started. I have now 857 defense. Wait, do we have more defense than I do right now? Ow! I'm so shocked that I'm getting hit here. And there's the next charge. I think I'm just going to put down a couple of traps as well. Come on, stop running around, you crazy chicken. There we go. Ow. But I think you should roughly have the same amount of defense as I have then. You do have defense level 7 as a lot that I will just assume then. There we go. And it's deleted. God. Master rank Diablos can be quite annoying, I do have to say. Oh god. Was a little early there. Come on, give me the heals that I so dearly desire. Ow. One of the reasons why I'm not too fond of Blood Rite anymore is because, don't get me wrong, Blood Rite in of itself is fine, but I rarely ever see myself using Blood Rite efficiently right now, because most of the later monsters in the Anomaly Hunt can pretty much two-shot you. So you don't really have the time to heal yourself on the enemy in most scenarios. Uh-oh, that's gonna end badly for me. Ow! Ah yeah, it's not only ending badly for me. Oh, hello there. Where do you think you're going? Are you going for the tail flap? Yes you are! No, you're not. He can't have much life left in him. I mean, he has been dying ever since he entered this area. And he's angry now. I still need to build my anger management set. That's one thing I wanted to do. A set with Defiance maxed out and Agitator maxed out, just for the shits of it. It kind of sounds like a fun idea. A set that's at its strongest while the monster is enraged. Is there any skill that makes monsters enrage more? But if so, I don't know it, but it would be useful for the set. Is there something like, I don't know, Provocator? Most people that don't use these skills would probably not like it if you brought them along on the hunt with you, but it would be an interesting skill set. Goodbye Diablos, my beautiful prince. Diablos was in my top 10 all-time favorite monsters at some point, but he ever since then lost his position to many other monsters, because there have been a lot of other cool monsters. And they afflicted Direhorns. Every additional afflicted Direhorn is a good additional afflicted Direhorn. So let's see. Yeah, you do have more defense than I right now. What the fuck's going on here? I do have defense boost maxed out, defiance maxed out. Something feels not right here. What is your secret, Sleepy? Ah. You can't touch me. I'm invincible. Okay, there we go. Let's see what's the next on the agenda. I mean, there's nothing on the agenda. We're just farming rank. I don't know why. I'm just so used to farming for specific parts and monsters that it's just so weird to basically do whatever and hope for the best. Hey, but we got more Prime Ember Essence. That's always nice. One of the main reasons why I wanted to do him, to get the Prime Ember Essence. The Prime. Oh. Okay, so let's see. Do we have anything interesting new? Ooh, Sinoga, that's interesting. And Magma Almudron, nice. I don't think I had a Magma Almudron yet at this rank. It seems to ease up in terms of the research requests at a certain point, because right now I'm only getting research requests around level 61 or 51. I don't really get anything above that. So maybe, hopefully, I'm slowly getting to the point where research requests are actually from quests that I'm capable of doing, game! Like seriously, that's my main problem with the research request system right now. The fact that it literally just throws you into quests that you can't do much with. Are we going to go for... I think I do like that they are telling you what kind of stuff you can drop from the quest. I kind of want to know what the Afflicted... Maybe the Afflicted Dire Scale is what I need right now. Let me check something real quick. Afflicted Dire Scale. Is Afflicted Dire Scale the one item I need for the Curio weapon crafting? Anomaly. Yeah, but it's Afflicted Dire Scales. Okay, you know what, Sleepy? We're farming us some Afflicted Dire Scales right now, just so we can unlock all the slots on our weapons. So, Raphalos, you are the one. And hey, it's even a quest a little easier. 35 minutes, that doesn't matter too much, but a time limit of 35 minutes and 4 feints, that's nice, that's nice. So, Afflicted Dire Scales it is. And if I remember correctly, Raphalos, you are one of the few things with a dragon weakness. So where is my crit dragon? There we go. There we go. You know what? Let's change up the layered armor as well. We have been running around with the same set of layered armor for a while. That's classic. You know what? Let's go for the vampire counter. She does have the right color for the hammer. And I do need multi-base plus antidote. Antidotes might be needed. He might not poison you often, but he is still capable of poisoning you. Yeah, let's eat for Slugger. I still don't quite understand how you had more defense than my mega defense set there. Are you using a mega defense set as well? What the fuck's happening? Oh, maybe it was because I removed the fire resistance? Maybe the fire resistance increased your overall defense as well? Something like that? I don't remember. And yes, I am actually using the Wildstruck's hammer there. Why am I using the Wildstruck's hammer? Because when it comes to elemental hammers, there are not really all that many great dragon element hammers, I do have to say. Most of the dragon element hammers only have between 30 and 40 dragon element. And while the Wildstruck's hammer only has roughly around... Well, roughly around. While the Wildstruck's hammer only has wide sharpness, has so much wide sharpness that it can just skip out on protective polish and speed sharpening and enjoy the fact that it has twice the amount of dragon element. Don't know how many. Okay, so that might have had something to do with it, but it's probably not going to be the entire reason. Weird, weird. Something went terribly wrong with my defense back there. And oh, I see a Tigrex in the area. Looks like we're gonna get an easy mount. I do like the gimmick of the Wildstruck's weapons though. A shit ton of wide sharpness and nothing else. Unless we count red sharpness as something else. Where is Tigrex? Hello? Get your ass over here. You've got stuff to do. Okay, finally, I was like, oh my god, is this thing literally too dumb to come over here? I mean, it's a Tigrex, so it might be. Well, okay, you become mountable, that works for me, and I will make Tigrex mountable. Do I want to... You know what, we're just going to get some materials out of Tigrex. But before we try to be fancy when it comes to the mount, we do have the golden webbing right now, so we might as well get some extras while we're at it. Come on now, and one more. Jesus Christ, okay. My performance is most certainly lacking right now. But that's okay, because we still get our T-Rex mount. I will leave that one to you, my friend. I think you deserve yourself a nice little T-Rex mount. Girls, you are a rider as well. A stories enjoyer. Ow. Stop it with the roaring. Maybe I should have taken the T-Rex mount now that I think about it, after I am holding the golden wire bug right now. Kind of didn't think about that, if I'm completely honest. I do enjoy what they did with Rathalos in Master Rank, or rather with this game in general. Like, I was never the biggest fan of all the old Rathalos hunts, but in my opinion, this is the first really fun Rathalos. That's something that I will always give Rise credit for. They took a lot of annoying monsters and actually turned them into fun and cool hunts. Like, not just Rathalos, there's also... And you know what, I'm just going to collect those shinies real quick. There's also Kushala Daora. In fact, I would say Kushala is probably the prime example. Because there was no monster more annoying than Kushala Daora to fight. Maybe Plesioth, some might argue old Plesioth. But in my opinion, even the old games, old Plesioth was never as bad as old Kushala Daora. And especially not as bad as old fucking Arch-tempered Kushala Daora. Jesus Christ. Ow! Jesus Christ, the damage! Me. Ah, I should have brought some flash bombs with me now that I think about it. Whoopa! I don't... Wait, do I not have traps on me? Ow! Oh god. Healing for all! But yet, it does look like my set doesn't have traps. I did not notice that. My bad, my bad. Should have probably also brought flash pods with me, but what can you do? Hindsight 2020, as the people like to say. Hey, there we go. That's what we like to see. You're using... Is it light bowgun or heavy bowgun? I think it's light bowgun, going by the shooting frequency. You really like to experiment today, don't you? Or did I just fling you up into the air one time too many and that's why you switched to rage combat? That could actually be the case. I wouldn't even blame you for it. I could blame no one other than myself if that was the case. I am trying, believe you me, I'm honestly trying not to fling people into the air with this style of combat. And I've gotten a lot better at it, but when a monster is as small as Lunagaron, it is kind of hard. Surprised to see that nobody's joining us right now, but I guess it usually takes a couple of moments before someone actually going to join into our hunt. Let's see if we can break his back, shall we? Oh god. And just when I started to complain. See, you can get far in life simply by complaining about things. That's the Karen threat. We are using Karen threats in this house if need be. Ah, good old Karen threat. Ooh, that's some good damage right there. Ow. Come on now, big guy. No reason to be rude. I still need to get something else in the set. But generally speaking, I should probably Was I not at full health? I thought I was at full health the entire time, but maybe I'm mistaken. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to hit the tent real quick and take some traps with me. Because if I forgot the traps, then we might get ourselves some traps. And where are the flash bombs? There they are. Alright, let's move on. Let's move out. I thought I was at full health, but maybe I was mistaken. Maybe I took a little chip damage and that's what got me killed in the end. But Jesus Christ. Or maybe it's because I don't have my immortality set right now anymore. That might also be the case. So, where are you, Rathalos? Somewhere over there too. Okay, you're flying around. Are you still in the air? Because if so, I'm just going to flash you out of it. I do have that possibility available to me right now. Oh, you are knocked down. Okay. You know what? There are a lot of people at the head right now, so I might as well go for the tail. We can still hit the tail for pretty efficient damage with our hammer here. And now we are going for the head again. Ow. Ah, and you're back in the air. Are you back in the air? I mean, that kind of worked out. He got me, I got him. Fair trade. Fair bargain, well struck. There we go. Squish, squish. There we go. Ruffler shot. Alright, so I'm looking forward to actually getting the materials from him, because that would... Oh, that would allow me to finally get... There we go. Okay, sorry about that. I kind of lost my focus there. It will allow me to finally finish upgrading my weapons. I think that's probably one of the best things to work towards right now. Because the armor set come and go, but my weapons, those will be forever. Also, I should probably heal up, considering how much damage he was capable of doing to me. Within a short amount of time. I don't see shit and I don't dare to hit him while I don't see things, because otherwise I'm just going to fling people into the air. Ooh, well done, my friend. I wanted to flash bomb him, but before I could even sheath my weapon, someone had him on the ground. Oh, sorry about that, Arthur. You kind of moved up to me there. Always interesting to play somehow. It's kind of, I do like the new way of playing Hammer, but yeah, you're definitely now you're the one that kind of interrupts everything. But I guess this might be a good lesson for edged weapon players to stay away from my head when there's still a perfectly cuttable tail available to them. Like seriously, look at this tail. Look at all the extra loot drops we could have if you would go for that. Uh-oh. Okay, we're not coiling back. I mean, you are coiling back, but you're doing so in pain. That works for me. Hey, there we go. So, let's see how far we can go today, by the way, because if we are able to get to special assignment rank 80 and or 81, I would already be quite happy about it. How many afflicted investigation ranks are there, by the way? Like how... I think that... Yeah, that hit him. Nice. Are there something like 100 or so? I honestly don't know. I think one of the reasons why I was so unmotivated to do it was because it was such a high number and I just had finished grinding master rank. It's one of the big things, I would say. Like seriously, you just reach level 100 in terms of master rank and then it's like, congratulations, and now get to level 100 in special assignments. And I'm like, ugh. Some people say that they prefer this to the Guiding Lance grind, Kuro, but quite honestly, I found the Guiding Lance to be way less grindy than this right now. Maybe that's just me. I would like to know how the common consensus on stuff like that is within the community right now. Oh. And I still have a couple more of those. No reason to get comfortable there, Raphalos. I still have one flash bomb left. That's one of the things that I noticed, by the way, when I recently revisited the world. Because I did distinctively remember Raphalos being an annoying bitch in the world. Because he spends so much time in the air. And he does, so that still holds true. But since I am now way more willing to adequately prepare myself for hunts with flash bombs, traps and stuff like that, even when I don't have that many materials, I do have less of an issue with stuff like that. Oh god. Ooh! Ah! I actually blocked the explosion, but then there was another explosion right after. Well, less of an explosion, more of a spinning little ball of death. Shame. For a second I thought I might have been able to get through this scot-free. And are you going to land? Yes, you are. Dang it, okay. I wanted to make a joke how I'm going to force him to land, but then he actually landed before I could finish throwing my flash bomb, and now I'm out of flash bomb. Are you trying to get away? You know what? Here's a trap. Here's a trap for you. Oppa! What do you think you're trying to do here, big boy? Hey, wrong direction! Here plays the music. Uh-oh. Come on, come down here. Ah, there you go. I think he wants to stomp the ground right where I was standing. Also, shit, I should not have sharpened. I kind of missed my chance there. Should have rolled out of the sharp. Is it possible to roll out of sharpened? I don't quite remember right now. Hey, good damage there. One of the things that I really like right now about Dragon Element is Dragon Element actually does have a unique skill where you do actually get to increase the Dragon Element damage while being afflicted by Dragon's Life yourself. So if you're going for the Vice Strike set, you can actually capitalize on that. And I find that very interesting. It's a 20% increase. The only weapon where it really makes sense though is of course the Wild Strike Hammer, because all the other ones just don't have enough Dragon Element for it to be worthwhile. But I find it's an interesting idea for a skill. So we do have one more trap for you, and I think I'm just going to put it down right here. There we go. There we go. Oh, looks like you don't really think too much of my shock traps anymore, but that does not matter because you're down! Down for the count, Raphalos. There we go. Okay. Is he going to get back up again? Apparently he is. Apparently he is. He's a tanky boy. And there's the next trap. You are not getting away from this one, Raphalos. Oh, what the fuck? Who interrupts me there, huh? Rajang, this is not your hand. If you want to get involved, do so sooner. Not like literal seconds before we finish the farm. There we go, there we go. Alright, so hopefully we get a couple of those scales, because those scales are actually going to be useful. I think I'm just going to repost the Raphalos quest a couple of times now, because those scales are huge. And we even got one extra scale. And the Wrath Medulla. Although I don't think that the Wrath Medulla is all that rare anymore. Was it ever rare now that I think about it? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't. Ah. But I do enjoy this set. One of my own creations. This is it. Silver Soul, Wild Strikes, Wild Strikes, Wild Strikes. There's a lot of interesting skills going on for it. Can I check all the skills? There we go, that's the entire set. Resentment, Dragon Attack, Resuscitate. Probably going to heal way too many times to really capitalize on a lot of the skills right now. But it's just very risky against augmented monsters, well, afflicted monsters at that rank. Because they can pretty much two-shot you, like pretty much all of them. If anything hits you again after you have already taken damage, you might as well just die. Have I ever augmented this hammer now that I think about it? Oh, we'll see, we'll see. I do like the new weapon augmentation system though. That's the one thing that I can say for sure. I do like the new weapon augmentation system a lot. But mostly the fact that you can just unlock stuff and slot it in. So if I want to change my weapon up a little, I can literally just do that. And I don't have to overwrite the skill, and then when I decide to go back to the old thing I need to farm the materials again. No, I only need to unlock everything once. What did I want to do? Oh yes, the Argosy. I wanted to take stuff from the Argosy, and that means the Kahoot Nest should be ready again. Also, let's see what kind of new quest we have. What kind of new research target awaits us. Another thing that I could probably go for would be finishing off the jewels, I guess. That's probably the thing that I'm going to try once my actual afflicted research level reaches 80 or 81. Depending on which level I have to be at. Farm some decorations. Optional subquests, hunting, riding, there we go. Slay an afflicted great baggy, level 71 or higher. I sure as hell don't have a quest like that. I can tell you that much for a fact right now. And I'm pretty sure that Sleepy would not be able to join me for a quest of that level. Oh well. Let's just post this quest again, because it's a pretty good quest. It's a pretty good quest to farm. And this time around I'm actually going to take the right items with me. This set has most things. I don't really need the trank bombs. What I need instead are the flash bombs, and other than the flash bombs, well, the antidotes. There we go. I'm just going to save this set as well, because if we're going to farm this one a couple of times, then this will be a good set to have. Yeah, I'll eat for Slugger again. I just like eating for Slugger. Ah, it's still so hot. I do wonder when it's going to start to cool down again. Because we are at the end of August right now. Usually it would be way cooler already around this time of the year. But we are facing a heat crisis because global warming is real, even though people like the oh so smart Elon Musk is still denying it. Did any of you read Elon Musk's latest bullshit on Twitter? Right now he means that global warming is not nearly as much of an issue as the population crisis, because the birth rate's going back and back. And if you didn't know that Elon Musk is an apartheid money white supremacist, then you do so now, because yes, in a lot of the first world countries the birth rate's going back, but in other countries like Africa, India and stuff like that, the birth rate is still stable and growing. We are pretty close to breaking through 8 billion people in the world. Malzeno is in. Oh, right, Malzeno is here. I didn't even notice him yet. Malzeno and Anjanath. Ah, so yeah. How do the people say you can take the boy out of the apartheid, but you can't take the apartheid out of the boy? That sums up Musk in a nutshell. I will never understand why Elon Musk has such a legion of loyal followers willing to defend him against any form of mild critique. But I don't understand the same thing for Donald Trump, and I think being an Elon cultist is, while it is abhorrent, it's probably not as bad as being a Trump cultist, let's be honest here. One of them is a rich bitchy asshole, the other one is an actual fucking criminal. Get your ass down there. Okay, I mean you were already down there, but you're going to leave Sleepy alone while he's trying to heal. Ow. And now you're going to let me alone while I'm trying to heal. Jesus Christ. Ow, God. Okay, you know what? Let's heal this. No need to take any unnecessary risks. Do I even want to heal further? Because I kind of want to keep the Dragonflight buff. Yeah, oh no! You have been roasted and toasted, Sleepy! Oh no! I mean, that's fair, I guess. Good thing is we do have one extra phase available, so that's not too bad. That's the nice thing about this quest. But yeah, his flame breath is kind of deadly. Ah! Come on! Stop getting out of the air whenever I throw a flash bomb. I mean, I want you to get out of the air, but not like this. Not like this. Woo! Come on, I'm pretty sure we're close to a knockout, right? Oh, stop raising your head to places where I can't hit it, alright? That's illegal. Illegal. There we go. Senzaiku, okay? We're getting new players right now. Okay, I do need to get to the head. Oh, that's bad. That was very bad. Jesus Christ. Okay, so the actual explosion is something to be feared for the first time in forever. Usually it's just a little bit of damage and then you heal up and then you go back into the fighting. But with this Ruffalos you even need to be careful of the explosion apparently. Luckily we do have an actual full squad now, so that should make things a lot easier. But holy hell. Maybe I should pick up Malzeno on my way. But I am pretty close to him. You know what? I'm going to pick up Malzeno on my way. Now that we do have a full party, let's get the heavy cavalry up. Is there such a thing as heavy cavalry? A kind of combined heavy artillery and cavalry there. You are a very cool monster. Do you know that, Martin? I'm pretty sure you know that. There we go. That's what I like to see. And by getting Malsino done like this, we hopefully will get a... Wait, did he and Rathalos have a turf war? Now that I think about it, they probably didn't have a turf war. I think I'm thinking of Malsino and Magnamalo. Yeah, those two had a pretty awesome turf war. And while Magnamalo does have a turf war with Rathalos, there is no turf war for Rathalos and Malsino. Generally speaking, turf wars do happen so rarely in this game that I wouldn't even know who has a turf war in most of the cases. It's such a shame because I do love turf wars a lot, but the system just doesn't really work all that well in Rise. I hope it will work better again in the next game. And maybe there will be a little more variety added as well, like the most interesting turf wars that happen are the ones where the winner is not predetermined. Oh, sorry about that. For example, Diablos versus Diablos, whenever that happens, there's only one winner, and that's interesting to me, because most of the time, the most turf wars end as a draw, or with a predetermined victor. But in some rare cases, turf wars can just end however. And he's up again. Oh, looks like we're trap spamming here. Works for me. Works for me. I should probably flash him out of the sky again at some point. And he's gone. There we go. Alrighty then. Rathalos shot. There we go. And Rathalos being rippers. The sad thing is, I don't know if you've seen the chart, but there was a chart recently that when it could check the on average damage that each weapon was able of doing during a speedrun. And don't get me wrong, speedrun timers don't have anything to say about the actual gameplay, because how a speedrunner plays the game is very different from how anyone else is going to play the game. So it won't affect your on average hunt too much, but I can't say that it didn't sting when I saw that Hammer fell even below both of the Lances when it came to on average damage in the speedrun. The Lances sit at I think 82 and Hammer sits at 80 or 81. It was like, you're so fun right now in Sunbreak, but what the fuck happened to you? My favorite Hammer still in Iceborne though. I think just because, less because of the hammer itself, but more because of the environment. Because there was no other weapon that could capitalize on Iceborne's environment as much as the hammer. And I love this. That's why I hope they are bringing my slopes and ledges back in style with the next monster in the game. It also just feels more natural when the environment is not just a flat fucking surface. Like seriously, who thinks that all these flat surfaces look like natural environment? If there are a couple of them, like in a water area and something like that, okay, fair enough, makes sense. But just the amount of them, just the sheer amount of them is crazy. Also, get your ass down here. There we go. There we go. And stomp? No, no stomp. Ow! And you're down, okay. Careful now. And there we go. And that did not hit you apparently. Huh. That came as a surprise. Ow. Okay, phew. This Rathalos is still a little annoying. Oh god, Senseiku, where's my... Ah, shit. Shit, I did not find my Dust of Life in time, and apparently I could not have found my Dust of Life in time, because apparently I don't have it with me on the set. This is a little bit of an oversight. Also, I should really adjust it so it's on the actual Hot Wheel, because considering how often I need it, Usually I just have Dust of Life on my weapon wheel. Well, not on my weapon wheel, but rather just on my quick select equipped and ready to go for cases like that. But right now I do need the flash bombs for that. Maybe I should just adjust my item in new time. Oh god, where is he? Ooh, come on, Kittenator. You know what we want from you. There we go. Beautiful. Perfection in action. Oh, I think he's becoming mountable. Kind of don't want to be the one to mount him because I can still do a little damage here and there. Also, I need to sharpen. My weapon does not need much sharpening, but the occasional sharpening has to happen. There we go. Okay, so now I'm good for another couple of minutes. So, what has, by the way, do you guys have plans for the weekend? I know that comes out of nowhere, but there's not much to say about this hunt right now, because even though we are down to one space, it still feels like we are going to win this. I'm not maybe I'm jinxing it right now, but that's what it feels like to me. So I'm not all that worried right now. Maybe I should be, maybe I'm taking this one too much on the right shoulder. Can you say that in English? Taking something on the light shoulder is a German saying, literally translated. So I don't know if you can say it. Ow. Didn't think you would have a hitbox in the air for that move. Oh, where do you think you're going? Like seriously, where do you think you're going other than this trap? He really likes his stomp attack right now. Come on, charge over here. Okay, looks like Nigerian has earplugs. 35 or something like that. Get your ass. Oh, is that the explosion? No. Come on! I don't know why, but I do have a hard time flashing this Ruffalo out of the air right now. Oh well, this might work out for me. I just hope he's not going to explode anytime soon, because at my current health pool, the explosion could potentially kill me. Yeah, okay, he's just out. Where does he sleep again? All the way up there. I mean, I do have explosives to blast him to hell and back, and I think that's exactly what we're going to do. Come on then, comrades. Oh, and looks like these guys are out. I guess they are going to teleport to the camp. Is it really faster to teleport to the camp from here on out? Rather than just going... I guess going up over there takes a little while longer than just going downstairs. So, yeah, it looks like it's faster to just teleport and then go down. Fair enough. We learned something new. Oh, and looks like he's still awake. Okay. I was kind of hoping we could sleep bomb him, but... Oh. But he's the one doing the bombing right now. Yeah, have another trap, will you? Oh. Yeah, the traps don't barely do anything to him anymore. That's the nice thing about traps, they kind of balance themselves out in a way. But you can only use so many of them before they just stop working. Ow! Okay, heal up. We're not risking it anymore. There we go. GG! Got a couple more dire scales, hopefully. What are you upgrading all the weapons? Oh. Rajang! Not you again! Like seriously, why is this Rajang just randomly showing up from time to time? There we go. But that's one of the things that I enjoy right now, that I have noticed. But now I can finally work on a lot of the things that I wanted to do again, because for a long time, when I was still at the start of afflicted investigation grinding, I think... There we go. I just told him that we have a 4 quest faint limit. We were lucky because of that, because we would have literally lost if it wasn't like that. Could you imagine if we managed to lose on a 4 feint limit? That would be kind of awkward. But it is a good quest to farm shit on. Also, I should check what my anomaly investigation level is right now. I mean, I can't go for the Great Baggy. I literally can't. That is physically impossible. And it annoys me! It annoys me so much. Like, I would really like to finish the request completion reward. But alas, it is impossible. And we didn't even get any new quests. It's a shame. I do wonder, is there anything else that drops afflicted dire scales? Oh! Oh, Mitsutsune drops them as well. Interesting. Interesting, very interesting. You know what? I haven't hunted Mitsutsune in a while, so let's go for a Mitsutsune hunt, I guess. What's Mitsutsune weak to? It's either electricity or fire, I would say. That's usually one of the two for water monsters. And the answer is electricity. Okay, my electricity hammer set's not the best, but it will get the job done. I've only really updated my fire, dragon and water set, so the rest of them still need to have some work done on them. I really should do it, but I haven't taken a little while of a break from this game as well, so not really the best opportunity to get anything done in that regard. Oh, you've got something for me, do you know? There we go. I did enjoy my time off from Sunbreak with my time, and instead have traveling through world. I'm very sorry, I don't know what's going on with my language today. I feel like I'm way worse at speaking today than I usually am. Maybe I'm just tired, maybe that's it. Maybe it's because I had a couple of days off from streaming. I mean, honestly, that might just be it, because it's easy to underestimate how much my language skills degrade over just a few days offline, but I haven't streamed for 3 days. My last stream was on Wednesday, so that might actually be it. I do feel like I'm slowly finding my footing again, but alas, it does take a while sometimes. Although I feel like if I talk to you directly, like answering a question or stuff like that, it's a lot of the time it feels easier to talk than when I just ramble for myself. When I'm just monologuing over here. Why the fuck am I climbing up here, by the way? It's not where I need to go. So there's a Great Izuchi and a Mitsutsune. You know what, let's just start with the Great Izuchi. No reason to go for the big guns while we are still waiting for the cavalry, so that's how we can use this statement. And I haven't hunted a Great Izuchi in a while. Also, the fact that there's a Great Izuchi in this quest might prove valuable to us, because that means that Mitsutsune should not have nearly as many HP as he would usually have. By the way, I recently asked my girlfriend to define which of the monsters is her actual favorite monster, because she has a lot of monsters that she really likes, but she didn't really define her favorite monster yet. And I was like, you know what, what is your favorite monster? You never told me. And she had to think about it for a while, but then ultimately came to the decision that it's probably Mitsutsune. There are a lot of monsters she really likes, like Velkana, for example, Paolumu, Tobi Kadachi, Puki Puki and stuff like that. But Mitsutsune does seem to have the best complete package for her. Fun hunt, fun design, cool monster, cool gear, cool music, cool lore. Basically he has everything. And understandable, like there are definitely way worse monsters to have as your favorite. I mean, I guess there is not really something like a bad monster to have as a favorite. If it's your favorite, then it's your favorite for whatever your reasons are. Oh, I just noticed we could technically capture the Great Izuchi. Is someone else just bringing Magnamalo over for the Great Itsuki, or is whoever's doing that? Ah, yeah, that's Sleepy, that's you. Or are you just preparing for Mitsutsume? Ooh, that's a nice outfit you have there, Mana. Very piratey, I like it. I like it whenever someone takes the time to actually building their own cool layered armor set from pieces. That's something I always enjoy when I see other people. Like, the amount of work people put into their armor sets can be quite insane. I think I should be... Oh wait, no, you have not... Did not break anything on you yet. We can change. Oh god. Ow. Okay, you know what? Let's heal up first. You doing alright up there, Sleepy? Because we're still busy here. Might still take a little while longer before we can join you. Oh. Okay, no, it looks like you're done already. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, it's like, if we started the Itsuki already, might as well finish the job on him. Woo-hoo-hoo! Ooh. Blast from the past! How lovely, isn't it? Nope. Not like this, Great Itsuki. At least these old sets still have 2 levels of focus on them. That's something that I still need to work into a lot of the new sets. Because 2 levels of focus are not the most important when you're running Elemental Hammer, but they do change your second hit to a fully charged hit every single time, no matter how fast you spam the moves. And while your monster is down, that can actually be quite important. Well, it's not really quite important, but it will definitely increase your overall damage output. And he's gone. And he's out of here. Ah. By the way, when it comes to streaming during the next week, there's one thing that kind of set in stone already when it comes to my streaming schedule. That will be on Thursday, the first day where I'm out of work. So I will have time for a long stream, and it will be Ooblets, I decided. Because Ooblets finally has its full release on Thursday. And, well, I guess it kind of depends on... I hope that the full release will come out early in the day. If it's something like 7 PM in the evening, then I might as well stream something else during the early hours of the day. But I do want to capitalize on not being at work anymore and not being tired constantly anymore. That will be a very nice change of pace. Because that's probably the most difficult... Oh, sorry about that, sorry about that. That's probably the most difficult thing when it comes to streaming while you're also working. Not just the time, but rather the energy. Because streaming, don't get me wrong, is not the hardest thing to do, but it does take a lot of energy. You need to focus on talking, on playing, and in my case on translating as well. So that can take a little energy out of your pocket, and why work is not the most difficult one. It's definitely not the most tiring work out there, but I still have to get up in the early morning, I still have to sit around for 8 hours straight, I still have to get out of there. Like, it still takes 8 hours out of my day, 9 hours if we are also counting the commute, so yeah. So... You are up there, Sleepy, so there should be a couple of shinies, right? So I kind of want to get those shinies before we go back to hunting this Mizutsune. Give me one moment. As long as they have not despawned yet, that would be annoying. Don't really need Mizutsune. Oh, wait. Maybe I actually do need Mizutsune shinies now that I think about it. Because if I remember correctly, Mizutsune might have been one of the monsters... Yeah, there they are. Where I still need to craft most of the armor set. I'm not done with my complete armor collection. It's one of the things... Ah, yeah, Sleep mentioned it. That's good, that's good. I'm not done with a lot of the things yet. But Mizutsune is probably the armor set where I'm missing most parts, if I'm remembering correctly. Most of the other armor sets are like 1 or 2 missing pieces, but the Mitsutsume set was basically missing in its entirety. Because I did like 1 Mitsutsume hunt during the playthrough because it wasn't a required quest, and other than that I ignored the monster for the most part. Not because I dislike it, like the same goes for Shagaru Magala, that's kind of annoying, because I actually like the Shagaru Magala hunt a lot, but it's a very hard hunt, and I don't really have a good reason to do it most of the time. And it annoys me. I would love to hunt Shagaru Magala more now that I've brought him back. But there's... oh no! But there's literally no good reason for me to do... oh god. To do that, because what would I get out of it? Basically nothing, because the Shagaru Magala gear is not the most valuable, his weapons are not the best. Oh damn, you be flipping and flopping me so soon. I don't know. Oh god. Ow. Ow. Jesus Christ. Alright, I thought I had a little more time there, but alright, alright. Are we going to fail this one on Mitsutsume? We might, we might. Let's see, let's find out. I think it's time to just spam traps and stuff like that. That's one of the things that most people don't capitalize on in modern Monster Hunter, but technically speaking, you could pretty much cripple a monster a lot just by putting down trap after trap, because even if you don't recraft traps, you can still carry at least 2 traps with you. But with 4 hunters, that's 8 traps. If all of those have recraftables for traps with them, that's 16 traps. And yes, every consecutive trap will do less than all the traps that came before it, but you're still going to cripple a monster a lot if you're putting down 16 traps to stop it. Almost there! Almost there. Honestly, this would have been one of the situations where I should have probably just taken my advanced research point in area 5. Well, not advanced research point. Oh, come on! That's where I literally just came from. Stern? You AFK there, bud? I'll give you a while, but I don't like seeing the AFK sign next to your sword. So if you don't show up anymore, then I might have to kick you out of the quest. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. I'll give you until Mitsutsume is leaving this area. Yeah, I noticed. So, where's the player list? There we go. There we go. Oh. Well, we kicked him just before we failed the quest. Ah, happens, happens. I guess at least he doesn't get reward for being AFK now. Okay, so that was very surprising. That was very surprising. I didn't think that we would get our ass handed to us by Almudron, by Mitsutsume. Yeah, that was pretty brutal, wasn't it? Surprisingly brutal, to say the least. I think I got a couple of new quests though, but Jesus Christ. Diablos and Kushala, and just pure Almudron. I mean, I'm still in the business of dire scales, and I think we might want to stick with Rathalos. I think Rathalos is probably a safer way to farm those. So, where is... Crit Dragon, there we go. It was a nice dream to change it up with the Mitsutsume. But alas... Oh, by the way, do I have... Yeah, I don't have it. I do not have AoE healing with me. Life Powder and Dust of Life, there we go. And now, save that. There we go. Ah, but yeah, that hunt was kind of cursed. I mean, we did at least get the Atsuki materials, but Jesus Christ. Mizutsune, I think it does not help that most of us probably don't know much about Master Rank Mizutsune's moveset. Because I don't know about you, but I barely fought Mizutune in Master Rank. And I would assume that most people didn't really have much of a reason to fight Mizutune. Like, you can fight him once while playing through the entire game, but there's not really an afflicted quest and a regular quest for Mizutune. Neither his gear nor his weapons, I guess his gears count as part of his weapons, are all that strong, let's be honest. That's why would you hunt Mizutune right now? If you want water weapons, you do want your Mudron map in most cases. So, the big question right now is, are we going to capture Anjanath on our way to Rathalos? I think I'm going to do that, yeah. Let's try that. How long have we... Oh, we've almost been going for 2 hours already. That's good, that's good. What's my research rank? 73. I mean, it's still possible that we might be able to hit 80/81 today, but it's starting to be unlikely, I think, because it does take us at least roughly 15 minutes per quest, I would say. And that's 4 ranks. Now that I mention it, no, you know what? We might still be able to pull it off. We might still be able to pull it off. We have 2 more hours roughly, so that might barely be enough time to get it done if we don't fail any more quests. If we fail any more quests, it's not a big issue either, because I don't care too much about reaching that rank today. But it would be interesting to see if we are actually going to unlock the 5-star afflicted hands. If we actually reach 80. Would also be quite useful. Just because if we need to hunt for something specific, then we'll no longer be in a situation. Oh, you're probably just going to roar me. Yeah, you're going to roar me out of midair. That's the thing about Antonov. He instantly roars the second you do so much as look at him. Also, he has one of the fastest roars out there, in my opinion. There are very few monsters that have as little a wind-up when it comes to roaring as he has. Come on now. Oh, come on, you're still not mountable. But now, right? Why do you refuse the mount so much, Antonov? Seriously, I only need you to need to borrow you for a mount real quick. Then we can go and get revenge on Rathalos. It will be a good time for one and all. You do want revenge on Rathalos, don't you? Remember how Rathalos, I don't know, he did something to you. I guess he just wins the turbo. Ah, god damn it. Right now there's so many things I want to say, but embarrass you in front of Rathian. That's what I wanted to say. Oh! Okay, so the spinning balls of death actually do hit the monster I'm riding as well. Good to know, good to know. I mean, I should have thought as much, but now we know for sure. Can we get a couple more moves in? No, does not look like it. There we go, that's what I like to see. Got some nice new shinies. Rathalos material will also not be the worst thing to get, because you do need to upgrade your Rathalos weapon to the last level before you can forge the silver Rathalos shit. So Rathalos is probably one of the smarter monsters to farm right now, even though I would have enjoyed the diversity of Mizutune. Maybe later on, maybe later. Where do you think you're going right now, big guy? Ooh, there is one more shiny over here, and now back to fighting. Now we're going back to fighting. Ow! Okay, that is very little damage. One might say surprisingly... Oh god. Okay. I do fear his fire breath. Hey, and someone else brought flash bombs with them. Nice. I don't really want to use the traps yet, not while we are only 3 people. Hey, and just when I was saying this, we are getting a 4th person. So once this 4th person arrives, we can start spamming traps. Also, I just noticed I do need to charge my hammer again. There we go, that's the good shit. Ow. What do you think you're doing there, big boy? I still need to compare how much damage we do with this hammer compared to one that could actually reach triple sharpness and has good damage more consistently. It's always hard to calculate because you don't see how much of your damage comes from the elemental damage. That would always be interesting to see, and it also depends very much on the monster. But let's be honest, some monsters just have horrible elemental weak spots. Like, I really don't understand them. Like, for example, if you think about Mr. Tune, we literally need to hit the hard claws for the elemental damage. Like, that's not really a spot that gets a lot of damage from all the other attacks. You can basically either decide you're going for the raw damage or the elemental damage. And since, I don't know, raw hit stones tend to... Sorry about that, Numix. I am flinging you all around a little bit right now. And since raw damage hit spells do make more sense a lot of the time, like, especially with hammer, it's like a thing, like, with hammer you don't have many options when it comes to where you strike a monster. Let's be real here. With cutting weapons, you do have a little more variety where you can do damage to the monster, but with hammer, you're basically limited to the head. If you're lucky, there are a couple of other zones where you can hurt the monster efficiently, but you do want to stick to the head 99% of the time. Or at least, let's say 90% of the time. There will be exceptions. Where was I going with this? I thought I was going with this somewhere, but I don't remember it anymore. Well, so much for that. I'll be on a birthday party in the evening, by the way, so I'm not going to stream in the late hours of the day today. That's one of the reasons why we had this a little more of an early stream right now. Also, I kind of like streaming in the afternoon because it looks like streaming in the afternoon is the best time for most of you guys in terms of time zone when you can watch. At least on a weekend, I have of course not been able to figure it out for during the week yet, because during the week I literally do not have that possibility. But I guess it also helps that I have way less competition during the afternoon hours, because most bigger streamers focus on evening, at least European evening. No idea which time zones they're actually in. That's a weird thing. They are all focusing on the European evening time. I guess one of the reasons why that might be the case, because it is one of the few times where both Europeans and Americans can actually watch the content, because it is early in America and it's late in Europe. So you can kind of capitalize on most of the Western audience that way. At least that's my assumption why a lot of people are going for that time. Another thing might be because they are actually trying to, I don't know, stream in the early hours of the morning when they still have more energy left and are not drained from whatever they are doing throughout the day. That might actually be the case for a lot of other people as well. Because at least for the Americans, that's the reason. Doesn't really work as well as an argument for the European streamers that stream in the evening. But I guess with those, it's literally just a case of getting the American audience as well. Ow, fucking hell! That fire breath is the one thing that I fear. Well, one of the two things that I fear about this Raphael right now. The fire breath and his big blood blight explosion. The blood blight explosion does actually do pretty big damage on him as well. So, did this respawn? Yes, it did, but right now it doesn't have anything, any Kuros or whatever they're called. Curios. I never know how to pronounce that name. What do you think of Sunbreak's endgame so far, by the way? Because on paper I really found the idea of special investigation, well, afflicted investigations interesting. But now in practice it feels a little underwhelming. And while it is definitely far from my favorite game, I still have to give it to GU because honestly, GU probably had one of the best endgames in all of Monster Hunter ever. Because the deviant grinding was a very cool idea. Like you had those specialized monsters, they had upgraded forms, their quests got harder and harder. Oh no. Okay, okay, we do have a Kitanator. Come on, come on. Come on, you can do it. Get your ass back. Well, you missed. Oh shit. Oh damn, and he recovers pretty fast from his own explosion there. Where are my flash bombs? Now that I look at it. And he's down. Okay, it took me too long to find the flash bombs. I really need to adjust the radial menu, even though I don't really want to add the flash bomb to it. But I might take the regular potions out of it, because let's be honest, I barely ever use regular potions anymore. Regular potions anymore anyway. The monsters just do too much damage for regular potions to have an impact. Also, Jesus Christ, there's way too many effects. Wait, can you adjust the effect even further so that it's not as flashy anymore? Because if so, that might be nice. Oh, come on, yeah, Dragonator time! Well, I guess it's a Kitanator, but still a good shot there. Okay, that might be it. I think we might be able to kill him here. Okay, we are not going to kill him here. But we are hurting him here. Hurting him a lot. Where's he going? Okay, just down that corridor. We need, you know what, we are sharpening. We are just sharpening. Will he be asleep? I don't know why, but the afflicted monsters always take forever to go to sleep. They can go to sleep, I think. I'm pretty sure I've seen them go to sleep, but it just takes so long. And if Numix is over there, then it definitely won't happen, so we might as well. I really didn't get much opportunities to flash bomb this guy this time around. Oh wait, was it a tail cut? Because it kind of tumbled over, like... Nope, it wasn't a tail cut. Then I really don't know what just happened to him. Hey, and he's dead. GG! But the tail is still attached to the monster. Tail cuts are rarely a thing that happens these days anymore. And we got a new dire scale, that's always nice to see. Cause I don't know, a lot of people don't seem to be focusing the tail anymore. If anything else breaks, it's most of the time just an accident. I kind of miss that, to be honest. And it's probably more practical to me that there's less of a focus on tail cut, since I'm a hammermate and I can't cut and tail myself. Oh, use the puppet spider. Ah, okay, that would explain it. I was kind of confused, because usually the topple over animation only happens when a tail cut happened. Okay, you tried to cut the tail. Yeah, but if you're the only one that focuses the tail, that will just not... That's just a very hard ordeal with so many other people. I think in a 4-player hunt, at least 2 people need to focus the tail, if you really need to want to cut the tail. It's not a big issue, don't worry, like, it's not even an issue at all. But it's just something that I noticed. Tail cuts are not really a priority for most people right now. And there is yet another dire scale. Usually I had at least 1 slashing weapons for tail cuts on the side. I really need to get myself an insect glaive or something like that. But considering that even my hammers are not really finished in terms of upgrades, thanks to how grindy the system is right now, I'm like, oh, slay the Ficta Diablos, I can finally do a quest again! Who would have thought? Who would have thought? We can actually do something for once. I think I want to go for this quest because it has an extra feint. So, I think I took a look at it already today, but it was... I think it was an ice weakness we were talking about when it came to Diablos. Ice, ice, ice. Ice might be nice. Also, it's so weird to me that apparently there are the Apex monsters in Master Rank, but the only way to fight them is as the side monsters of Afflicted Investigations. That's so confusing to me. I was so surprised when I saw that Apex Asuros in that one quest. Yeah, it was ice. Nice to meet you too, Sleepy, even though I don't think we are meeting for the first time here. I guess if we're going for these kind of hunt, let's go. You know what? We're just going to adequately prepare, shall we? Let's use sonic bombs. We only need to save the loadout once, so might as well. Might as well. I'm getting a little hungry right now, which is surprising because I ate a pretty beefy lunch. I ate ramen for lunch, and ramen is also always a hefty meal. Just because of the amount of ingredients you throw into it. I'm kind of considering eating ramen again for dinner because I still have broth left. And once I thawed up the broth because I had the broth frozen. Whenever I make ramen broth, I freeze a lot of it just so I can use it again later on. Well, not use it again, but just so I have broth for later on. Because producing the broth is the most time and labor intensive part of making ramen, in my personal experience. No other ingredient for ramen takes as much time and effort as the broth. So whenever I make broth, I make a shit ton of broth and freeze most of it afterwards. And the broth I'm using right now is my most time intense one. That's the chicken feet broth. Wait, not chicken feet, pig feet broth. Most people go like, ugh, you're using pig feet for that? Which I never really understood. Because do you know what parts of animals are getting used for broth? Like, I don't quite understand what's more disgusting about pig... Oh god. That's a lot of damage. Why pig feet are more disgusting in a lot... Ow, okay. Careful there, Diablos. Okay, let's try it again. How pig feet are more disgusting than, let's say, for example, cow bones. That's one of the other classics. Or, I don't know, any other kind. Usually you use, I don't know, old bones, organs and stuff like that. I really don't understand why people are always raising their eyebrows the first time around when they hear that I use the feet of an animal. Like, it's better than the feet of the animal are just getting tossed out. At least someone's using them. Banh Mi. Ah, that name that... Jesus Christ, I thought I was at full health, wasn't I? Banh Mi, that name does ring a bell, but give me a second, I'll have to look it up, because right now I don't really have a picture in my head when it comes to Banh Mi. Banh Mi. Oh! That's Banh Mi. No, I didn't have Banh Mi yet, but it does look nice. It's kind of just, at the end of the day, it's basically just a kind of a sandwich, right? I mean, it looks like a sandwich. Is there anything special about it? It's a very well filled sandwich. Damn, there's a lot of ingredients in there. But yeah, it does look good. But no, I never had Banh Mi yet. Hey, Crimson Glow, Valstrax Ambush. Nice. Ah, but I would definitely try it if ever given a chance. If I have a chance, I recommend it, because it's a really good sandwich. I will gladly do so. I am always very experimental when it comes to food. Whenever I get a chance to eat something I've never eaten before, I will most of the time take it. There's only very few things that I'm not going to even try, I would say. Like, for example, one of the few exceptions is I'm not the biggest fan of mollusks. I do like octopus decently enough, but I'm not going to eat something like, let's for say, oysters and clams. I don't really like shellfish, I should say. What else? What else? Oh, and mushrooms is also something that I don't like. Eggplant I can eat, but I really don't need it. And last but not least on that list would probably be zucchini. Is zucchini the English name for the plant? I'm not too fond of zucchini, but other than that I eat basically everything. At least once, to be sure. So there will be a couple of other things that I'm not going to eat, like those bloody eggs that are boiled in children's urine. I don't know who had the wise idea of saying yes. Or you know what really would take these eggs to a 12? Boiling them in young boys' urine. I don't even want to go into too much depth on this topic because it's kind of disgusting, but yeah, that's an example for food that I would not try, given the chance. But banh mi, that looks like a very good looking sandwich. Maybe I'm going to take a look at the recipe afterwards, because I don't think this is going to be very hard to make. A lot of the time that's the thing, because I can cook pretty well myself, so a lot of the time whenever I see something new, I'm like, I can cook that. I cooked a lot of the Monster Hunter cutscene ingredients, recipes as well. I did cook everything that I ever saw in Monster Hunter World. I can cook dangos from rice as well, and what else can I do? Although I kind of prefer Mitarashi dango over Hanami dango and stuff similar to Hanami dango. Mitarashi dango are just my favorite when it comes to dangos. I do want to make dango again as well, because my girlfriend and I recently bought grilled tofu, so we kind of have everything we need to make Mitarashi dango. You don't need all that many ingredients when it comes to Mitarashi dango. But one thing that we are lacking right now is wooden sticks. That's one of the problems. Because you do need to be able to... how do you say that in English? To put the little dango balls on some kind of stick. You need to... or something like that. Because if not, then they're just going to roll around individually, which might also work, but for the traditional dango they need to be put on something. You need to pierce them with something to keep them together. And that's the one thing I'm lacking right now. Not any ingredient, but one part of the presentation. Oh well, it shouldn't be too hard to get, but I do have to remind myself to get it whenever I have the chance. I do like a lot of things from the Asian cuisine. Because, I don't know, I was kind of raised on Asian cuisine, so that might have a lot to do with it. But I think there's just something very refreshing about Asian cuisine in several senses. That's one of the reasons why I like Asian cuisine and Italian cuisine so much. A lot of the people think about French cuisine when they think about world-class cuisine. And I really dislike the French cuisine. Not in terms of eating, but rather in terms of cooking it. Because French cuisine has barely any freedom. French cuisine is, here's a recipe, follow it step by step, and then you will have the finished product. And yes, that will work, but it's kind of boring to cook it. Oh god. Ow. To cook yourself. While on the other hand, stuff like a lot of Asian dishes or Italian dishes do have an idea in mind. Like, okay, here's this certain thing, like spaghetti blanca, for example. It's a spaghetti dish where you literally only use white ingredients, but you can really choose which white ingredients you're gonna use. And therefore, even though it is a certain recipe, you also have a lot of freedom as the one preparing it. So yeah, that's the thing. That's just the thing with it. And that freedom is something the French cuisine really lacks, in my opinion. And that's what I really dislike about this. I like eating French cuisine, and I am of the opinion that the French have the best sweets, like Jesus Christ. I know the British are always, oh, but our sweets are the best sweets. Bullshit, bullshit. I can tell you for a fact, as someone who spent a week in England, British sweets are good, don't get me wrong. British sweets are damn fucking good, especially compared to the rest of their kitchen. but they don't really have any leg up over any other European sweet. The only reason why the British think that their sweets are so glorious is because their regular food tastes like trash. Other Vietnamese will recommend pho, but I personally recommend banh mi and café soda. Vietnamese iced coffee with milk. Interesting. Cooking Asian dishes is such a pain in every way. You think so? You think so? I mean, I don't know, that's one of the things that I like about Asian dishes though, because a lot of the Asian dishes follow a kind of, I would say, Build-A-Bear logic when it comes to cooking. Where a lot of the times you can prepare a shit ton of single ingredients and then just cool them down and save them for the week. Like you can, for example, cut little carrot sticks and then fry them with soya sauce, sugar and mirin and a little bit of salt maybe, and then use them for a shit ton of different dishes throughout the week. And that's one of the things that I like about Asian cuisine, the Build-A-Bear logic of it all. Same goes for ramen, like I can decide, okay, I want these broths, I want to have these, what's the word I'm looking for? Broth? Yeah, the seasoning. I want this broth with this seasoning, these noodles and these toppings. All of these ingredients I do have to prepare by themselves, but because I do have to prepare all of those ingredients by themselves, I can combine them in any order that I could possibly want. And I could reshape the dish in any order that I possibly want. Because, for example, I really like to add tahini to like the pig broth when it comes to ramen. Ow! Just because I think the creaminess of the tahini goes very well with the creaminess of the broth. That's why I actually prefer tahini over the usual soy sauce garlic mixture that I add to most of my ramen. But yeah, maybe that just comes down to personal preference. Hey, you're stunned. And I really need to sharpen my weapon. And yeah, cooking is a topic that's always very interesting to me because I love eating. I did try to become a chef at some point in my life. Didn't really work out, and quite frankly I can't recommend it to anyone, at least not in Austria, because you basically earn nothing and most people treat you like garbage, because most of the people that are active chefs in Austria, at least half of them, are hateful chefs in a sense. Like, they hate being chefs. Maybe they like being chefs at some point, but years of a job that's hard and pays nothing and treats them like shit made them bitter and hateful. And they take out that bitterness and hatefulness on most people around them. And it's very stressful being a chef because of those reasons. And you, like I said, you earn nothing as a chef. Like, literally, you earn more as a cashier in retail than you would as a chef in Austria, which is just insane to me, because don't get me wrong, retail workers have a hard job. Retail workers definitely have a very hard and stressful job, but it's nothing compared to working as a chef, in my opinion, or at least it's on equal footing as working as a chef, I would say. But yeah. Madness all around. And there we go, the other sons, and we do have to kill the big boy a couple more times. Especially when you're still an apprentice as a chef. You earn that. When I was working as an apprentice, it was hard work, stressful work. Basically, the chef used me as a replacement for his work, and whenever I didn't do something right, because most of the time he didn't explain shit to me, he just expected me to know shit, and then got annoyed when I didn't know them, and even if I asked him about shit, he just got pissed off. Like, literally, at one point, he yelled at me because I didn't prepare something for the next day because he didn't tell me that I needed to prepare it. And then he told me, yeah, that's on the list. And he didn't tell me that there even was a list that I had needed to look upon. Fucking asshole. I really hate that guy. One of those guys where I wouldn't blink twice when he got into an accident. That may be a little rough to say, and I would still call the ambulance, but I would be a little, yeah, serves you right, asshole. Is that too extreme? Maybe that's too extreme. But you do have to understand, this guy overworked me to the point where I was nigh suicidal. I needed therapy after I quit being a chef. Mental and physical, because he overworked me to the point of me tearing a sinew and stressed me out to the point of me becoming suicidal. I'm not really going to go in depth there, but yeah, you can understand that I'm not really having a high opinion of the man. There we go. Sorry that it became real there for him. For the most time, I like to keep it chill and stuff like that, but Jesus Christ, my old boss is a real trigger point for me. Ooh, Sergio's quest. I think we all had horror chefs at some point. Horror bosses, I should probably say. Horror chef sounds so kitchen specific. Oh. Sorry if I killed the vibe, really. I didn't plan to, but it just enraged me when I started to think back to my old work. Not my current work. My current work I really can't complain about. Like, my current work is probably one of the few jobs that I ever had where I've been treated with respect by my higher-up. Most of the time, my higher-ups really just viewed me as expendable, which, let's be honest, since I was doing student jobs and stuff like that, I was expendable, but I at least want to be treated with a little humanity, I would say. I don't think it's too much to ask to be treated like you're actually a fucking human. Hey, new clues. Ooh. Another stressful job, and I'm not really going to go in depth there, was when I was working on the phone hotline of a troubleshooting thing for phones. So, and because people can be real assholes when they already have problems, want to take it out on something, are in the comfort of their own home and don't even have to see you. At that point, they're literally just raging at you. And fucking hated it. That was one of the reasons why I really got into a fight with my biological father at some point as well. When he had trouble and wanted to call a phone line because he wanted to troubleshoot something and became really pissy with the girl that answered the phone. And I literally took him and was like, dude, chill out. He was like, well, it's part of their job to get yelled at. And you go, are you fucking stupid? No, you're not going to treat a decent workout like that. I was real surprised, because most of the time my father is an actual chill dude. But that he said a bullshit like that really made me lose respect for him. I mean, there were a lot of events where I lost respect for my father. I shouldn't laugh about it, but laughing is how I cope. Like many people, there is a lot of unresolved trauma I have when it comes to my parents. I think a lot of people in my generation have that, because, I don't know, it seems like the previous generation was focused mostly on keeping us alive, but not really on being emotional when it came to us, the children. I don't really feel any emotional bond when it came to my parents. It is weird, like, they're not necessarily the worst parents. Well, okay, they're definitely not the worst parents, that's for sure. But I just don't have any emotional connection to them, because they were just parents that were like, okay, we're going to keep him alive, we're going to pay for his education. But when it came to any emotional issues, it was pretty much, yeah, just don't complain about it. There are so many people that had it worse in the world than you. And it's like, that's one of the worst ways of dealing with emotional trouble. Like, when you're already stressed out about something, I hate the logic about, yeah, other people have it even worse than you, so you can't complain. So, as long as you are not living in a war-torn country and are dying of Ebola or something like that, after the rest of your family has already perished, you can't complain. That's literally the only situation when you can't complain. And even then, there's probably someone who will go, yeah, you are dying of Ebola right now, but hey, at least your family is dead already, so there's no one who's going to miss you. Don't know if anyone would say something like that, but consider these days nothing surprises me anymore. Considering the fact that I recently saw a Twitter post where someone went yikes under a comment where someone said fuck Hitler, as if saying fuck Hitler was in any way, shape or form a controversial take. Ever since I saw that, I kind of lost all hope I ever had for humanity. No, that's not quite true. We do have a lot of good humans out there, but we also have a lot of very trashy humans in the world, let's be real here. But maybe I'm going to get a snack once we hunt over real fast. I do have a couple of grapes I bought today, which would make for an excellent snack right now. Alright, this set actually does have a life steal. That's good, that's good. Against this Diablos, this actually does work for once. Hey, and you're paralyzed. Do I still have... No, I don't. Oh, sorry about that. Who's the hand? Oh, Sleepy. I've sent Sleepy flying so many times already today. I didn't even see you there. This time I couldn't really take care because I just literally didn't see you. The disadvantages of the good old elemental hammer. Even so, I still like being able to use second charge move right now a lot more because it is an interesting move. It has very high knockout values and a pretty high hitbox. Like, you can hit monsters even when they've raised their head quite far up, which is usually a big problem when it comes to hammer, because hammer is one of the weapons with the shortest reach. I think the only weapon with even shorter reach is probably dual blades and sword and shield. Other than that, hammer probably takes the cake. It's a very mobile weapon, so that's how you counteract that, but still. There we go, 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 there we go, ba, 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 da, ba, da. And there's, you know what, we are just going to put down some crap as well. We are going to trap this man for days. To hell and back. Traps might not be working all that long anymore. But they are still interrupting him. Oh yeah, come on. Hey, there we go. And okay, there's a lot of people at his head, so we are going to switch up the threat. Don't worry, Sleepy, you don't have to dodge away. I'm careful, I'm careful. As long as I see you, I am going to be careful. Last time around I didn't see you. That's the problem. And I don't think I need to renew it. Hey, and someone's going to make... Oh god, be very careful that you're not going to run him into the trap. It would be a waste of a good trap. Okay, so far so good. One hit, two hit, and there we go. That's what we like to see here. Okay, so his head is a little far away, but I think I might be able to just jump it. Yeah, there we go. Hey, that's a point landing. That's one of the things that I kind of find weird about Hammer and Sunbreak though. They gave Hammer new tools, but a lot of the new tools are for situations that the Hammer already had tools for. Because, let me put it like this, if we are looking at the Iceborne Hammer, the thing only has 3 moves, but, well, or the World Hammer I should rather say. It only has 3 moves, but all of these moves are for a certain kind of situation. For example, we do have the charge move for most of regular combat. We do have the Y hit for when you are actually going. So have a little bit of a time window, but the monster's not necessarily knocked out. Maybe if it's just exhausted, or you caught it at the end of a big move. And you have the Big Bang combo, for when you actually have a big time window to do some damage. The Big Bang combo has only been added in World, and it's one of the reasons why World still has my favorite hammer to this day. Because in the older games, without the Big Bang combo, I don't know, it feels so weird that the Big Bang combo is something that has only been added in World. Because it just feels like such a natural core part of Hammer's moveset. Also, don't you want to come over here to this trap? Do you not wish to enter the trap, my dear Diablo? Okay, you're digging. I'm just going to wait over here for a moment. Oh, come on! You jumped over the trap. That's illegal. Mr. Diablo, sir, are you aware that trap avoidance is a serious felony? And finally! And 1 and a 2 and a 3. Those are the big hits we are looking for. We can go for one more round, right? Yeah. Uh-oh. Ow. Maybe I shouldn't have gone for one more round. Come on, Diablo. It's so weird because Afflicted Diablos is so dark right now. And indeed. But his little horn knobs, after they are broken, are still the usual Diablos color. So it just doesn't fit. Oh god. Braga. There we go. Braga is back in action. Also this Diablos is dying, so that's pretty cool. And hey, we have a new contestant in the ring. Where do you think you're going? Are you running away now, Diablo? Don't you dare run away when I just get my mount. I think we should probably be able to finish this before Diablo, before we are rid of this mount. Ow! Okay, unless Diablo finishes us. What the fuck? There we go. That's what I like to see. That's what we like to see in this house. GG! So I think there's only one more Diablo's quest before I'm actually done with the research request for once. I've never been able to finish the research request now because they keep moving the fucking goalpost, as you might have seen with the Great Baggy quest. Like, I'm unlocking the level 66 quest and the game's like, you know what, go for level 71 quest. God damn it, game. Oh, give me 1 second. I'm not going to go to the BRB screen. I'm just going to grab some grapes real quick. I got myself a delicious fruity snack and I'm back. Ooh, what's this? Amber. Wait, I don't remember. I think Prime Amber Essence is the rarer one, isn't it? Yeah, properly. It has the longer name. Usually when something in Monster Hunter has a longer name, it's usually rarer and or better. Diablos, Aurora Summoner Camp. Oh, another Lunar Garon quest. Sinoga, Tigrex, Sinoga, Nagakuka. Okay, that's a lot of quests. The new Lunar Garo, I think the Cyanoga quest might be exciting because I don't think I had that. Well, I probably had a Cyanoga quest already by now. So, I wanted to... Wait, what did I... Go through the mercenaries. Where are we going with you now? I think I need a couple of these mushrooms to finish one of the outfits. I think that's one of the things that I am still missing right now when it comes to armor crafting. We'll post the quest again in a moment, then I can finally finish the research request for one. Do you still have the Daimyo Hermitor as a quest, by the way, Sleepy, or do you have another target in the meantime? Oh, no. Careful now, careful now. I should just not sprint when I'm trying to climb this ladder. That never works out for me. Not even once. Was I able to sprint up that ladder? Elgato is such a weird hub. I mean, it gets the job done, and it has all of the things connect close to one another, but at the same time, it's such a weird hub for me personally, because there are so many weird invisible walls, and it almost feels kind of cramped. Because I do like having all the facilities next to one another, but I do also like having a little extra around said facilities. Here we go. One last round of Diablos. Don't know what's happening afterwards, but one last round of Diablos is what we're going for. Afterwards, we are going to take a quick look at what we could even be buying with the reward of one fulfilled research request and whatever else we fulfilled in the meantime. Because I am curious, I'm very curious about those rewards. I know we could buy mantles and stuff like that, or stuff for more armor augmentation, but I don't really know how worthwhile those will be. I think the thing that I'm most interested in right now would probably just be mantles, especially the ones from Guys Magorm, because I am very bored of the Guys Magorm hunt. When I fought him, when I originally fought him, I still liked him, but the more I had to hunt him, the less I liked him. Third time's the charm, right? Yeah, there are probably not all that many people that can go for investigations around these ranks. But it's kind of funny, honestly. It gives me a little bit of the old school MMO vibes. Here we go. Okay, because back in the old MMO days, that was one of the things that I actually enjoyed a lot about old MMOs. When you were just doing your stuff, and then you're going to try, and then you're meeting new people that do the same stuff as you do, and you see them over and over again. And at some point you will just start to talk because, hey, I saw you! Then again, and most of the time they do remember you. And I don't know, there was a certain charm about that in old MMOs, in my opinion. Even though the grinding where you did meet up was kind of mundane most of the time. But just encountering people in a video game was something that I don't think that really happens anymore these days. I mean, yes, MMOs still exist, but these days I just can't get myself to do MMOs anymore, just because I don't have the time and energy for it. MMOs expect you... Oh, Jesus! Alright, so much for that. Because MMOs that expect you to dedicate so much time to them. And I'm just not willing to do them. Especially the big MMOs that still want a fucking subscription fee from you. And I'm not going to pay like the price of an entirely new indie game every month just to have access to your fucking servers. Because if it would be something like, okay, they are going to sell me okay, try again. Okay, I'm going to pay a monthly subscription, but for that monthly subscription I have access to literally everything in the game. That would be fine, I guess. But considering the fact that it's not... Oh, I never noticed that there are little lights spinning inside of the Aurora Summer Camp thing. That's cool, that's cool. But considering the fact that most of these MMOs also sell you the big DLCs for an extra price, they do have a microtransaction stores. Some of them probably even have battle passes and loot boxes and all that shit. And if you're charging a monthly subscription, it would stop at that. If you're charging a monthly subscription, everything else should be available for the players in the actual game. That's it. There's no good reason for it to be any other way. If you're not charging a monthly subscription, sure, you can go for your microtransaction store and whatever. But with your monthly subscription, you are not allowed to do anything more, in my opinion. Oh, come on, I'm missing. I thought you're supposed to not lose the spider anymore if you are missing the target. Oh, are we going from one trap to... Oh, okay, that works as well. That works as well. A lot of people are still very big into Final Fantasy these days. I did give Final Fantasy 14 a shot. Oh, something else appeared. Who just interrupted me there? Is it Ragnar? Yeah, it's Ragnar. Oh, and sorry about that. Did not expect to do that. You know what? I'm just going to hit the wall once, and then I'm going to hit the Ragnar once. There we go. I did try Final Fantasy 14. It's not like I did not give it a chance, but it just feels like every other MMO to me. I really don't see what's special about it. There's only one MMO that ever really grabbed my fancy. Well, it's not just one, but the best MMO, in my opinion, was Guild Wars 2, which is coming to Steam right now, so I'm honestly considering revisiting it maybe. It won't really change anything for me that it came to Steam, but it's just kind of funny. And it also got its final big DLC. Or is it going to get its final big DLC soon, or did that already happen? I don't know right now, if I'm completely honest. Oh, Bishaten, where the fuck did you come from? Didn't see you there. But yeah, the fact that Guild Wars 2 has been trucking along for 10 years is kind of funny to me. I spent so many hours in Guild Wars 2. Granted, and Guild Wars 2 does a lot of things that put it above the rest of the MMOs, in my opinion. Like, for example, the Guild Wars combat system is very action-oriented. It doesn't have the Holy Trinity, so you don't have those problems where there are way too many DPS players and you always struggle finding tanks and healers. No, in Guild Wars 2 you literally just can play every class together with every class. You could even roll a... Ow. Wanted to escape between his legs! And the best part about Guild Wars 2, in my opinion, was the living world system. Because it had its static quests, but you didn't have to go to someone, ask them about the quest, get the quest, then go somewhere else, fulfill the quest, come back and reward the quest. No, you had zones where you could do certain quests in. Those were the static quests. And those static quests always had several victory conditions. And you could mix them up as you wanted. For example, some of the earlier quests, where you could help out on a farm. You could help defend the farm against marauders, you could water the plants, feed the cows and stuff like that. And whenever you got sick of doing one, you could just switch over to the next one. And then there were the dynamic quests, and those were where Guild Wars really set itself apart from the rest of the MMOs. Because the dynamic quests just happens whether you started them or not. The dynamic quests were just something that happened in the world. And if you're in the area, it literally shows you, well, this thing is happening right now, and you could join it or you could not join it. You didn't even have to press anything to join it. You could literally just start defending the fort that got attacked. Kill this hornless thing. Hello, Kuro! How are you doing? How are you doing? Having a good time? Having a good time? Nice to see you, nice to see you. Do you want to join us? We're going to keep going for like 1 more hour. So there would be more than enough time. Hey! There we go. Killed it in your name, Kuro. I'm currently rambling about Guild Wars 2 because I did start thinking about Guild Wars 2 again since it is coming to Steam now. Well, so to finish my thought, the thing that really set Guild Wars 2 apart was the dynamic quest system, where things just happened in the world around you, and depending on how they ended, something else could happen afterwards. I can, but my investigation level is only 21. I think you can still join the quests if I post them in the lobby, because I think Sleepy was also able to simply join my investigations, no problem whatsoever, as long as I posted them in the lobby. Because he mentioned being unsure if he was able to join them at first as well, but then he just popped up in my level 62 quest. Just try it out. I'm 69, I think. Oh, okay. Oh, and wasn't able to finish my thought there, shame. For your explanation there, Kuro, we kind of ran into the same guys over and over again, because there are not all that many people that can farm stuff like that. But honestly, even if you don't, if you're not at the right rank right now, we can just do lower level investigations anyway as well. I really don't care about which specific monster I hunt right now, I just want to push my own Anomaly Research level. I just want to get it to 80 or 81, whatever it takes for me to unlock the 5-star anomaly hunts. Oh, research request completed. Report to Bahari. Okay, so we can finally finish these for once and see what happens now. There we go. We're getting the investigation coins, 50 of them. What could we buy for 50 investigation coins? What the okay, wait. An outfit voucher would cost 10. An outfit voucher plus would cost 50 investigation coins. What the fuck? Okay, so the outfit voucher plus is really not worth it, because you basically get at least 1 per investigation anyway. The Amber Essence, I think that's just the most basic one, isn't it? Yeah, so that's also not worth it. No. Okay, so I don't think that there's any good reason to spend those coins other than for mantles. Like literally, that's the only thing I could see myself buying. And hey, I'm only 1 coin short from most of those basic ones. Maybe I'm going to save for the Abyssal Dragon's Fire though. Just because I don't want to hunt Guys Makorm again. What's the new? I think it was Great Itsuki that they wanted me to hunt now. Let's see. Yeah, level 61 Great Itsuki. I don't think I would have that quest. Yeah, don't have that quest. So yeah, if you want to join us and if you want to just tag along, we can easily do quests that are on a lower level. I really don't care. I just want to grind my investigation level. And in the meantime, while you consider my offer, I am just going to refill my melding pot. Do we have any good charms in there? Anything good? 2 levels of stun resistance and the level 4 slot is alright. Slugger, no. I don't really have a killer charm yet. Okay, 3 levels of stun resistance and a level 4 slot and poison attack. I can see this one being useful. Starting up next. Ooh, 2 levels of critical eye and a level 4 slot. Okay, maybe we are finally getting somewhere. Steadiness level 3 and level 4 slot. Speed eating is not that important, but maybe for a ranged set. Critical boost, reload speed. The rest of them don't really entice me all that much. Why about Whisper and Sun Resistance? That's fun. No, no. I still need my 1 killer charm, but alas, I have not gotten it yet. Okay, I'm not going to use the accelerators. Mostly because I kind of want to use them while I'm offline. I don't need to waste more time than necessary on this little refilling of the pot right now while we are alive. I still prefer charm grinding over deco grinding, I will be honest with you there. I know we disagree on that end, but I don't know. I still think it's easier to build that without having all the without having good okay, try again. I still think it's easier to build good sets without having good charms than it is to build good sets without having good decorations. I'm just throwing basically whatever in there. I used to be very careful about whatever I tossed in a pot, but at some point I was just like, you know what? If anything, if I'm missing anything at any point, I will just refarm it. And that basically works. The only things I don't intend to melt are tails and gems. And by gems I'm including mantles and stuff like that in the list. Because those can actually be annoying to refarm. Ah, looks like... Hey, there's Kuro! There's our boy Kuro! Where? I don't know where he's standing. Ah, there he is. Hello! It's funny how differently colored we are right now. I'm the white one, you're the black one. Okay, and then please feel free to post the quest that you have access to. Because we, as we've already established, just need shit. I'm just going to take this hammer. And you know what? I'm going to switch my layered armor again. Which set would be nice? I haven't worn my Fallen Angel set today. Could I access my box again? Just do your ones. Should give more point. Okay, do you think you can join them? Let's just see. Let's see if you can join them. I don't have one for these fucker. I mean, the best quest for us to farm right now is the Rathalos quest. Because the good thing about the Rathalos quest is he is dropping the Afflicted Dire Scales, which you need for the second weapon slot upgrade. Oh, damn it, I lost my quest. Where is it? There. So, let's just see if you can join that. That would be interesting to see. I do need my other weapon set. Crit Dragon, there we go. Where's my specific Killing Rathalos set? There it is. So, can you join that quest? The answer is... Drum roll, please. Nope, 61 plus. Alright, okay, then I'm going to cancel it. We haven't played in a while, and I do want to play together, so let's just cancel this quest. Let's go for something else. Just post any quest. As I said, I'm fine with basically anything. And I'm fine with having grape. I haven't hunted a Rathian in a while. I mean, my set will still work for that. Like, Rathian and Rathalos can be defeated basically the same way. So that does certainly work for me. Oh god, I'm making myself dizzy right there. Oh, by the way, Sleepy, your request monster should have been updated as well, shouldn't it? What do you have now? Time to try the elemental bow set. Back to bow, I see, your beloved ranged weapon. I still need to test out light bowgun in the upgrade version, and the other way to play heavy bowgun, because I think I could also have a lot of fun with the non-charge heavy bowgun we have right now. The one that works a little more like a turret. And I kind of enjoyed how deliberate the charged heavy bowgun was. I need it as a regular 51 plus, but now I should get a new one. Alright. Why didn't you say something? Because I think at the regular 51 plus I could have delivered. I mean, I guess we were doing my Diablos quests back then, so yeah. But just let me know if once you need something. I mean, Kuro would not be able to join us for most of the stuff at our rank, so I guess we're just going to go with whatever he picks now. Hey, more clues. I think I probably need to delete a couple of quests again. Usually I just delete whatever is low level because the low level ones are not going to work out for my research requests anyway. Then again, maybe I'm putting too much value on the research requests. As we've already established, aside from mantles, there's not really anything that I need from them, because everything else is kind of overpriced. Anything up here? Nope. Alright, then time to kill a Raffian. It's been a while, Raffian. How are you going? How is it that the golden counterpart of yours stole the limelight? I mean, let's be honest, you were never really in the limelight to begin with. That's the weird thing with Raffian. I think if it wasn't for her needless running back and forth... Yeah, that one, thank you for demonstrating. I don't think most people would mind Raffian as much. Like, it's not, her backflips are not really much of an issue, but whenever she just runs back and forth, that's when she becomes annoying. Not because that's dangerous or anything, no, it's like, ow, okay, that was my bad there. Like, her running back and forth is one of the most harmless things she can do. It barely does any damage and it's easy to avoid. But it takes a while and... Oh, damn! How did that happen? But it takes a while, and until she's done with it, you can't really do much to her. Because otherwise you're just going to get hit. Oh, and... Hawk should get hit. Are you going to spin twice? Yes, you are. And now I can take you down. Hit the head! There we go. That's what we like to see around these parts. I did find you more than enough to know that you would like to go for the double spin in Master Rank. I did like the insane spin she had in Iceborne. I think she still has it here in Sunbreak, but I don't know. Even though Sunbreak's Gold Raffian is probably stronger than Iceborne's Gold Raffian, I still think that Iceborne's Gold Raffian feels like she has more of an impact. Like she has more of a dominating presence, if that makes any sense. Oh, am I the only one without the ranged weapon right now? Did I miss a memo or something? Is it ranged weapon Monday? Wait, no, it's not Monday. Ranged weapon Saturday. It doesn't really feel like a Saturday right now. Probably not because my girlfriend's not at home. The poor girl has to work it right now. I probably shouldn't call her a girl. She is a grown-ass woman. But I don't know, it's called girlfriend, so it's hard to call it a woman friend or something. I guess I should say my partner, that's probably the best, most accurate descriptor. But I don't know, it's still accurate if I say my girlfriend, I guess, because that's basically what she is. It's weird, it's weird. It just a girlfriend feels more like a childish term if you really think about it. Maybe... Look, funnily enough, if I use the German equivalent of it, it's not as much of an issue, because in German, in Austria, most people stay in regular relationships until their 30s, and it's rare that people marry and do stuff like that before they reach their 30s. In America, on the other hand, a lot of people marry basically as soon as they are done with school or as they are done 18. I've seen so many people that were married by the time they reached the age of 20, which, in my opinion, is not old enough to get married. In my honest opinion, you are not old and ripe enough to be married at the age of 20. But who am I to judge? Who am I to judge the country with the very high divorce rate? But yeah, that's why I think, but because of that, people stop calling their partner's girlfriend in America once they are a legal adult, because it's no longer a girlfriend, it's a wife at that point for a lot of people. And that's just not like this in Austria, because we don't marry that early for the most part. I think in my social circle I only know 2 people that are married so far, and both of them are around 30 and they married around the age of 25. Well, I guess he was around the age... What was he? Honestly, now that I think about it, I don't remember when exactly they married, but it was at least in the mid-20s. Oh, okay, that's a very harmless explosion. That's a very harmless explosion right there. Okay, Ruffian, get your ass back over here again. And there's the second spin. And the roar. Hey, ah! Thought I would be able to land one more hit before he got the roar out. It's so weird to have wire falling. I think the muscle memory from wire falling is the thing that's the weirdest to get rid of or re-establish whenever I stop playing Rise and switch back to World and the other way around. You know what, let's drink our antidote. It was a pretty decent hit when it came to poison damage and stuff like that there. And I hand it to her. Replaying World is so much fun right now though, but I did want to get to 81 before the September monster update dropped. Felt like something that I should probably do. It's not like I'm not having fun right now, but as I already said, the numbers are just so big in this game and there's so much grinding that's probably going to happen at some point, sooner or later. It is kind of hard. Oh. And come up. Woo! There we go. And she's mountable. I can do a little more damage until Sleepy's mounted. There we go. Is it Sleepy on her? I think Sleepy mounted. Yeah, Sleepy's the one that mounted. I think Kuro, you turned your automated mounting off. Maybe I should do that at some point as well. And just use the extra time for damage and stuff like that. Especially in online multiplayer, a lot of the time I would rather just make additional damage. Make additional damage, do additional damage, instead of having the mount or resharpen my weapon. That's the thing I do most of the time whenever someone else has a mount, like just sharpen up. With this weapon it really does not matter, but I have so many sets with protective polish, where it's always a good chance to renew protective polish. Do I still have tea? I think I have a little tea left. Yes. And just a little tea. So I do wonder how much experience I'm gonna get for this quest. That would be very interesting to see. Well, right now I did get roughly, I think a little less than a level of XP per quest. I do wonder if the amount of XP we get actually increased significantly for quests later on. Or if it basically doesn't matter and they're just like, you are just going to want to do the research request. And most of the time I do want to get the higher level quest just because of the higher level drops for materials, but let's see, maybe we can actually get to 80 with low level quests as well. Oh, also Kuro, I don't know if we talked about that yet, but I got one of my quests today, one of the Anomaly quests, where there was the Anomaly monster, a regular monster, and an Apex Azuros. Okay, that's basically no point. Okay, fair enough, that's basically no point. But that's alright, Kuro, that's alright, Kuro. We are still doing your quest, because I missed hunting as a team. It's been a while since we were able to hunt as a full party here. And I'm still getting outfit vouchers and stuff like that from the quest, so that's fine with me. Speaking of outfit vouchers, maybe I'm just going to get one of the full outfits. What's Night Squire? Ah, yeah. No, not really. Drops out, changes level, magically drops in. I mean, that does work as well. I'm not complaining if you do that, but you don't need to. Don't worry, you don't need to. I'm just having fun right now. I'm having fun because we haven't been playing as a group in a long time. Has it been so long? It feels like it's been a while. Is there any of these sets that I really want? Oh, you know what? I kind of want to have everything of the snow. Ah, you know what? No, I'm just going to go for a fancy little outfit once we're done. Hey, Antonov and Arturos. Since Scorn Magnamalo, was Scorn Magnamalo really the last thing we hunted together? Jesus Christ, that's been a while then. It might even be longer than I expected because. Oh wait, oh, did I get an important message there? Oh, no. Oh shit, looks like I forgot to answer a question someone wrote to me. My bad, I will take care of that in a moment. What set am I looking for right now? One of my water sets. I do have a critical water set. So, and we are going just for the multi-base here. There we go, there we go. Because I did have a stream afterwards as well where I was soloing Scorn Magnamalo. Because I had to do the quest again as well once we reached... Well, once I reached Master Rank 100. But yeah, that's still... It's been a while. It's been so long. I mean, I guess we didn't play much Sunbreak overall in the meantime. At least I didn't play much Sunbreak for a while. Ever since I saw the Team Darkside video comparing Sunbreak to Iceborne, I was like, I want to play Iceborne. And I did. I put like 60 or 70 hours into Iceborne in my latest playthrough already. Trying to do all the side quests. Trying to basically do everything. That does take a while, The actual playthrough is probably not that long. I think the actual playthrough is at roughly 25 hours right now. In case you're wondering where I am in Iceborne, I think the last thing I defeated was Nightshade Paolumu and Coral Puki Puki. And the next thing on the agenda should be Nagakuga. If I'm not misremembering. So I probably will just take one more long day and finish the rest of Iceborne at some point. Because I'm pretty sure all that's left from Iceborne, I should be able to get to Shara Ishvalda in a reasonable amount of time. I'm looking forward to re-fighting Shara Ishvalda. Honestly, from all the spectacle boss fights that I've done so far in all of Monster Hunter, I think Shara might be my personal favorite. Even more so than Atal'Kar. Atal'Kar is probably going to be number 2 on that list. And I would assume that if I had ever done him, then Gogmasios might actually be number 1. But since I never got the chance to fight Gogmasios yet, I really hope that they're bringing Gogmasios back at some point. From all the monsters that are still missing from the old games, I think Gogmasios would be one that interests me the most just because I never had a chance to fight him yet. And whenever there's a monster that I literally was never able to fight, it's very exciting. Then again, who knows, maybe it will end up like a disappointment like losing Nagakuga did. It's such a shame. I mean, losing Nagakuga is definitely not a disappointment, but it's also not as cool as I hoped it would be. I think that's the best way to put it. After fighting losing Nagakuga, I think I would rather have had the Deviant Nagakuga Silverwind back, because I really like Silverwind Nagakuga. I don't even know why, but there's just something cool about him throwing wind blades. Wind blades are very anime, but anime in a good way. Speaking of anime, have any of you read the manga Dungeon Meshi? That's a manga that I recently read. It's a very fun manga, so like, it's very light-hearted and very comedy. Like, the manga is basically about a group of adventurers in a basically Dungeons & Dragons dungeon. And since they kind of ran out of funding, they do need to start to eat dungeon monsters and learn how to prepare them and shit like that. And I really like the manga, and the weird thing about the manga is, from all the mangas I've read over the last couple of years, it has some of the best character development and foreshadowing, which is weird about it's a weird thing to say about a manga with mostly a joke premise, I think. But yeah, I can recommend, if anyone is looking for a manga that's right now, I can recommend Dungeon Meshi. It has 85 chapters and it is not finished yet. Oh, someone is using a great sword. And someone else is using sword and shield. Literally, I'm the only one in our group who's kind of sticking his one weapon right now. Which is so weird because wasn't I the guy who switched around the most back in the day? What happened? What happened to me or you? What happened to us? We live in strange times. Strange times indeed. How are you feeling, Antonas? You're not doing all that. Oh, sorry about that. Kind of didn't hit the head there. Don't worry, I'm just going for spin to win. Oh, I'm no longer going for spin to win. I see you're playing classic Greatsword right now, right? That does not seem like the elemental Greatsword variant. I am kind of curious. I do want to do ow. I do want to build an elemental Greatsword set at some point and mess around with it, because I am very fascinated by the fact that they even tried to make elemental a possibility for Greatsword. And as far as I can tell from what I tested so far, oops, sorry about that, Sleepy. As far as I can tell from what I tested so far, I probably prefer regular Greatsword over elemental Greatsword, but I do like the idea enough for me to give it a chance. I'm not too fond of what they did with Insect Glaive, because considering that the Kinsects are still pretty slow in Sunbreak, and there's basically no dual collection Kinsect anymore as far as I'm able to tell, you do need to use the Kinsect a lot more to collect the actual buffs now, and I'm not too fond of that. If it would be as fast as it was in Iceborne, I wouldn't be complaining, because the Iceborne Kinsect could actually move. I do enjoy that the kid... Okay, careful now. I do enjoy that we are actually doing aerial damage for once with the Kinsect. Like, that's something that was never the case before, and I don't really understand why they were so afraid to give the Kinsect, the Insect Glaive, decent aerial damage, because it's its entire gimmick. If you don't want its gimmick to be good, then what's the fucking point of the gimmick? Don't worry, I'm using my triple charge method, even though I am low-key missing a lot of the time, but we'll make it up, we'll make this work. There we go, that's the good damage. It's very relaxing to fight more low-level monsters than again. Over the last couple days, I've only hunted anomaly investigations that were at least rank 40. Oh, up into the sky with you! You're going sky high! I'm helping you getting closer to the Lord, Kuro! And up you go! Oh, I missed you. It does not always happen on purpose. This time it happens on purpose. I was helping you there, Sleepy. No, honestly, I kind of thought I was actually helping you there. I'm not even saying this is a joke, but it looks like you're about to get hit. Maybe I messed up. I really need to build myself a raw hammer set. How the fuck do you... You smacked me out of the air there with your Greatsword. Honestly deserved. Honestly deserved. I don't... Oh god, I need to clip that. I need to clip how that happened. What the fuck? Oh, well timed hit. Will not have... I might not have flinch free on this set. I don't know why, but apparently I got rid of flinch free on a lot of my sets. I think I got rid of a lot of flinch free on my sets just because I kind of need to avoid standing where everyone else is standing anyway because of my second swing of the combo. But that was very fun. Because usually I don't get smacked down. Hey, and he's dead. Gay, gay! Ooh, and tiny. Baby shark doo 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 doo. Why am I singing baby shark doo 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 doo? Don't think water hammer is the best thing to use against Azur. Hey, and he's coming to us. How nice of him. What a nice little Azuros. Guess we just have... I mean, we could prepare, we could put down traps and shit, but it is an Azuros, so let's be honest, what's the point? What is the big point there? Hello! By the way, can any of you tell me how many ranks of Anomaly Investigation are there in total? Like, how high could you get with Anomaly Investigation? Because I did not notice, I could not enjoy it. Oh no! Oh! Up you go. Don't worry, I will try to make a clip of it, because it was kind of fun. I don't think it is TikTok levels of fun, but it was kind of fun to see. Because I honestly did not know that you could interrupt someone by just smacking him down. Yeah, I'm just going to stand out of the way and just smacking his head a while. For once, I, the hammer player, I'm going to stay away from that. Hey! Ah, I missed. There we go. There's a nice little flow to elemental hammer that I really enjoy, because usually hammer is a very hit and run focused kind of weapon. You do your hit, you dodge the monster attack, you repeat. That's basically how you play hammer in most games. But with the elemental hammer, you basically have to stick to the monster a lot more, and you can do more continuous damage even— oh damn! You have been bear hacked. Oh. You still got me there, you still got me there, and you know what? I am at the head now, now this is my head. Now you can slap the ass for a bit. Ah, I'm wondering though, Sleepy. I know we are hunting right now, so you can't answer that while we're in the middle of the hunt, but do you play old school greatsword right now because you don't have an elemental greatsword, because you don't like the new elemental greatsword, or because you have not tried the new elemental greatsword? I'm curious, I'm very curious. Azurus fur and sharpen it up. Ah, this Azurus is... oh yeah, you stop there. You stop right there. This Azurus is the easiest thing I've hunted in a while. If we don't count the great Ditsuki that we had in the other quest, I guess. But we did fail that quest. Okay. For a second I thought I might have knocked both of you away there, but no. That was Azurus, not me for once. I have become what I once hated, the interrupting player. The longsword! The bluntest of longswords. Hey, there we go. GG. Delicious grapes. Okay, you did not try elemental yet. I'm very curious, because I don't think I've seen anyone use elemental greatsword. I don't see all that many greatsword players to begin with, now that I think it. Oh, it's the immortal set. Gotcha, gotcha. It is the immortal set. Oh, by the way. Since the three of us are here together, I mean, Sleepy, I see you already have the helmet, so you don't need that anymore. But can we do the event quest? I still need to get myself the fancy new helmet. God, new bow. Anomaly Hunt Gold Trophy. Okay, what did I get that for? We can do it, I don't need to do anything. Very fair. Yeah, Anomaly Hunt Gold Trophy. Probably because I hunted X Anomaly monsters. Probably something along those lines. I think this quest had a blood orange Bishatten and something else that was fiery. So let's see. There you go. Event quest. Wait. Huh? I'm confused. Wait, did I never get the event quest from you? Speak with me, my friend. Add-on content. No new add-on content. Okay. You have posted a quest, okay? And the quest that you have posted was... Wait. Okay, come on, quest bot, show me what you have. No reason to be coy. Dual threat, Revelry of Destruction. Is this not an event quest? I'm confused right now. Like, seriously. Is this one just under a regular quest? I will join it in a moment. I just want to see if it's just under a regular 6-star quest. No? It is the second event quest. What? But I only have high rank event quests right now. Why don't I have master rank event quest? I'm very confused. Oh, and I do need some more of those. I do need to get some more quests there. I did talk to the cat, like seriously, just look at it. I rechecked with the cat. I asked him, hey, do you have add-on content? And he said no add-on content. And there is no unreceived add-on content. No idea why I don't have the quest, but I will just join your quest. It's just confusing me. The one without event quests, that's what they call me in the mean street. Okay, Rajang was weak to ice, if I remember correctly, so that's what we're going to do. And there we go. Double Furious Rajang sounds like a little bit of a nightmare. Even though I do have to say, even though I think I like Furious Rajang more in this game, I think he's easier than he was in Iceborne just because you are so much more mobile than you were in Iceborne. Even though he has his little death spiral now. And yeah, very strange, very strange. We'll have to figure out what's up with that. Maybe I did not update my game or something? When did that quest come out? No, if it's the second event quest, I still should have it, because I still should have another event quest. Oh no, he's RP walking. Okay. You want to do the RP walk? Then follow me. We are RP walking together. Wild RP walking. So don't get me wrong, I think the idea of MMO role-playing is very funny, but the idea of actually having to walk anywhere if you want to go over a really long distance sounds kind of obnoxious as fuck. Granted, you would probably still just use a mount or whatever public transit those games had available to them, but still. So, there is no fence. The big question right now is, are they going to do more damage to one another, or are they going to do more damage to us? Up! Ow! Okay, it might be us. Ow! Maybe I should have taken my immortal set. That might have been a bad... Oh god. Careful now. Okay, I think I should just switch over to Dust of Life, just in case. Okay, one of them is definitely bigger than the other, so I think Gold Crown here will come if I don't have a Gold Crown. I think I had a smallest Furious Rajang Gold Crown. Because I think the very first Furious Rajang I ever did was a Gold Crown Rajang. And ow! It's very hard to do anything to them right now. We do need to separate them as soon as the fence is ready. Uh-oh. Oh! Wait, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm actually fine. It's so weird after experiencing Anomaly Afflicted damage for such a long amount of time. This feels kind of void. Like they barely do anything, at least that's what it feels like. Ow! But we can barely do anything to them either. Because right now they're just pinballing us. Okay, come over here, come over here. The fence is ready to use. One of you needs to go to the other side before we can do anything here. I've got friends on the other side. Oh, okay, okay. Is it you? Is it you? You're not quite far enough. Ah, there we go. There we go. Oh, I think I just yeeted Kuro into the air there. Oh no! I sent Kuro to his death! Kuro, my friend, I'm sorry. I trapped you with the beast. We shall kill the beast in thy name now. Ow. Oh my god. The second the fence goes up, the second is the fate was sealed. Poor Kuro, poor Kuro. Oh, I love that he has this move again. It's one of the best Furious Rajang moves in my opinion, the big rock. Not a very dangerous move, but it just looks impressive as hell. I hate... Oh god, and the fence is done already. Oh no. Okay, how long? 20 seconds before we can separate them again. 20 long seconds. Okay, at least they are hitting each other now. I hate their bouncy arms. Like seriously, as a hammer main, I'm trying to hit the head. And do you think this small little head is very easy to hit between two bouncy arms? Guess what the answer is? No, oh no. That's bad, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, that's very bad. Does one of you have Dust of Life or something? God. Ow. Oh, so that's how Furious Rajang follows that one up. I honestly didn't even know that. That's pretty cool. Hard to tell, but it is pretty cool. Oh! Oh god, he's still going for a super move. Hey! Oh, come on. You have to become mountable now? When there's a fence up and we can't use you against your front? How long is this fence still up? Can I shoot him through the fence? No, I can't. Come on, get your ass over here. You just need to be close enough to the fence. I'm sure there's a way for me to hit you through this fence. Can we get the fence down? Somebody press that fucking fence switch. Come on, monkey. You can definitely jump over this fence. You're strong enough. Ah, there we go. That's what I like to see. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a launch. There we go. Okay. Doing the big damage numbers. That should hopefully take care of most of their health. Ow. Well, he's knocked over, so that's good. do need to heal up real quick. And there are shinies over there, but I think I need to get those ones once the mount is done, because I think that's going to be pretty soon. There we go. Oh, is he actually oh, he's finishing it with the big rock. Okay, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty... Ow! I mean, the good thing is, because he was aiming for me and I was mid-air, the other guys did not get hit. Killerzunge, hello there! Hi, hi, how you doing? Having a good evening? Having a good weekend? How are you doing on this very fine Saturday? What brings you to my little corner of the internet? Is it the thirst for blood? Do you want to hunt monsters with us? Or do you want to just chill out in the background? Both these options are available to you. Rajam apoplexy. I have no idea what an apoplexy even is. I'm not even sure if I would know what an apoplexy is if I wasn't a native speaker. Hey, that's a good separation. Oh god, Sleepy, now you're trapped with the beast. No, 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 not again. Not again. I do not like my position. Ow. You know what? Dust of life brawl. I think we all can need it right now. Well, we all can need it. We all do need it right now. Ow. Oh shit. Oh my god, that was so ballsy of me. And it was such a bad idea as well. It did work out for me. But I really shouldn't have tried to block it in a situation like this. And fan still up? Yeah, okay, we do still have a little time. Would be nice if we could get rid of at least one of those Rajangs anytime soon. But quite frankly, I cannot diversify, differentiate between them, so they both might as well be the same Rajang. I know one of them is significantly bigger than the other one. But ow! That snipe from the other end of the arena. At least I still get full healing now. If they ever make an afflicted version of Furious Rajang, that's gonna be nightmarish. Ow! Although it's probably still going to be a little easier than Iceborne Rajang. Come on, jump over here. I think you're... Yeah, there we go! Ow! I don't like being trapped with you on this... Oh shit, I'm out of decent healing. I'm just going to use the Dust of Life real quick. And then I'm going to rejoin you on the other side. I've got friends on the other side. Oh, come on. Can we get over there? No. Okay, I kind of fucked that up. Give me one more moment. I do need to embarrass myself a little while longer. There we go. There we go. Ow. No. Ow. Okay, still alive, still alive. Oh, God. Maybe not for much longer with the second one in here. Oh god, Sleepy, you might need this. Here, Sleepy, there we go, there we go. Baby, you're back! Welcome back! Wait, are you... Oh, you're dead, not back. My bad, my bad. Why the fuck did I read back? I believe that you are dead, but you have holidays now! You have a free week ahead of us, you. You finally made it through the workday! Well done, honey, well done! And nice for you to drop by. How was work? How was work? I mean, it was exhausting if you're saying that you're dead, that's for sure. But you are finally done with it. Let's focus on the positives here.
Get there!
Hey, okay, I'm trying to get there. Ow! Trying being the key word here. Ooh, okay, we broke something, I think this Rajang should probably be pretty much done if he lost both his horns. Oh my god, he hit the fence there, that was lucky me, otherwise I would have eaten a shit ton of damage. Boom. The annoying thing is, right now, none of them have a blue skull. I feel like he's probably capturable, but I can't confirm it. And I really want to capture the first one just because it would be hella...
No, that's a lot of damage!
The lot of damage dealing is so loud. It's not too loud, but it is very loud compared to all the other ones. How about a little more? Now that's a lot of damage. Oh god. Okay, yeah, that's a lot of damage indeed, Rajang. You are very right about... Oh god, Sleepy, you're stunned. Where are you? Here's help. Help for Sleepy. Oh my god, you're on the other side. I'm out of AoE healing, but I think you should be doing fine now. Ooh, Jesus Christ. I only barely noticed that we are standing on the other side and alone and low health, and it was... Oh shit. So, let's see. Oh, you don't have to be sorry, Anima. The redeems are there to be used. But you are dead here. Absolutely fair. But hey, as we already established, you can chill now. You can actually chill now for a long while, actually. And that is nice. Finally a little holiday. You deserve it, honey. You deserve it after all the hard work you did. And even if you didn't do hard work, everybody deserves a holiday from time to time. In fact, I think we should have way more holidays. And we in Europe do have a lot of holidays already, let's be honest. And Sleepy, where are you? I'm going to knock you out. Oh, we're on the other side again. You are my friend on the other side this time around. Come on, oh wait, no. This is the other Rajang now. It's not the Rajang where we broke both the ones already. That's the new one. Come on now. One of you. Oh wait, one of them. Okay, is it our Rajang? Is that our Rajang that's capturable? Where are my trank bombs? Okay. Okay, that's very good. Okay. One Rajang down, that will make this a lot easier. Nice, nice, nice. So, Sleepy, you no longer have to fight with your Rajang on the other side there. I mean, you still have to fight with him, but not alone. The cavalry's here! Cavalry's here to kill Steel. Oh, wait. So, we didn't break both arms on any Rajang then. Hey! And he's capturable again. So, they were very close when it came to health. I mean, we can capture him, we can kill him. I don't really care. Okay, looks like we are going for the good old capture. There we go. GG, everybody. GG. Hey, maybe we're getting a couple of Furious Rajang hearts from this quest. I don't know if I would still need them. I don't know if the Furious Rajang weapons are any good, if I'm completely honest. But I would rather have the hearts than not have them. Well, how does this thing go again? I would rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. There we go. 3 times alone with the monkey so that you guys had a better time. Honestly, why did you do that? Like, seriously, whenever I was alone with the monkey on my side, I was like, okay, I'm just going to switch back to the other side because it doesn't really change anything anyway. And now forge a Courier Crown layered armor set. Oh, is that literally just a layered armor set? Does it not have regular armor as well? Okay, let's forge it then. Let's forge it then. And, oh, the research request has been updated. Alright. Forge armor, forge layered armor, forge special. Hey, there we go. How do we preview it again? Toggle preview there. Oh, yes, it works very nice with my hairstyle. That's pretty sweet. I think I will use this one as inspiration when it comes to crafting my next armor set. No idea how exactly I'm going to use it, but there's definitely something I can do with this. But I used the button and did not want to use a Farcast and already did make the quest alone. I mean, fair enough, but you could have just climbed the fence? Like, literally that's what I did. I literally just climbed the fence and jumped over. Oh. I mean, it did work out, so thanks for that. But I don't fully understand the point you are trying to make here, if I'm completely honest. Oh, Astalos would be the next target. We could actually, wait, no, we can't do that one. They can't do that one. It would be it's a shame because we can't, he would actually be. Then again, I think I should probably wrap it up around these parts because I do need to eat dinner as well before we head out to the party. Wanted to know if I could do it. Absolutely fair. If you, oh, do we have time for one last quest? You know what? We do have time for one last quest. One of you post one last quest. We are going for one last quest here. One final ride. One for the road. Whatever it is, I am coming. Because, let's be honest, there's not really anything that I really hate all that much fighting. There are things that annoy me a little more, but there's nothing that I really despise fighting, like Arch-Tempered Kushala, or Tempered Kushala, or regular Kushala. Well, old Kushala. Kushala here is actually fun. And the final hunt for the day is another Afflicted Ruffian. Okay, let's go. Let's go then. But yeah, my opinion about Furious Rajang in this game still stands. He is cooler than he was in Iceborne, but it's also kind of easier than he was in Iceborne. Not necessarily because he got weaker in my opinion, but just because we have more movement options now. And the thing about Rajang was always just how much he jumped around. At least with him. Rajang is the only small monster where I actually like using the Insect Glaive against it. Because most of the time the Insect Glaive wants the monster to be of a certain height to really get the best use out of it. But with Rajang it is very nice because the Insect Glaive is actually able to follow him for the most part. The best weapon against Rajang, in my opinion, is probably still the dual blades though. Because you can slash his ass, you don't need to go for the fucking arms. You can pretty much keep up thanks to demon mode. You are again dead, oh no. I mean, is it really again dead or is it still dead in your case? I think you might still be dead, because again dead implies that you have been alive in the meantime, at least once. How am I doing though? I'm doing great, I'm doing great. I did have a little bit of a headache in the early hours of the day, but that one settled over the day and now I'm just vibing. Just having a couple of chill hunts with the boys, one might say. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up after this hunt so I can eat dinner as well and then prepare. The caffeine is back in your system again. Oh yeah, that definitely helped. I can tell you for a fact that that definitely helped. It's weird, it's so weird because, I don't know, tea doesn't really have as strong of an impact as coffee. I don't think anyone would argue that. Cracking open a monster with the boys! And when I drink tea, I don't really feel much of a difference for the most part. And I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm a lot more I mean, I'm definitely a little more tired when I'm not drinking tea. But the biggest difference is just the slight headaches that I get for a couple of days whenever I stop drinking tea. It takes between 1 to 3 days without caffeine to get all the caffeine addiction out of my system in that regard. After 1 to 3 days without caffeine, I usually reset. And I don't need caffeine for a little while anymore, but for the most part I don't really see much of a point doing that reset. Whenever I do that reset, I'm usually doing it because it's hot and I don't want to drink hot shit during that time. Ah, my beloved caterpillar. I haven't seen people use the caterpillar in a while. I really need to get better Twitch TV just so I can use more emote clouds. I don't quite understand how better Twitch TV works, but it appears that it's just an additional thing you can add, and as long as the other person has that thing as well, you basically have more emote slots. I mean, that would require me to get more emotes as well, but I do like having emotes, so it might not be the worst idea ever. Although I still don't know how exactly I'm going to do it with the emotes. I'm probably going to search for an artist on Fiverr again, but I think I'm going to look for another artist, because don't get me wrong, I did really like the work that this artist had, but she did raise her prices quite significantly, and the last time around the service was kind of dodgy. She didn't really communicate with me all that much. Like, seriously, she didn't communicate with me at all after the first order. But because the first time around she contacted me after every sketch and I asked, okay, are these things okay, what should I change and stuff like that. The second time around she literally literally just contacted me once she was already done and was like, okay, how's it looking? I'm like, okay, 2 of the things things here are literally not what I ordered from you. And then she explained, yeah, okay, but she kind of needed to do a rush job there because she was running out of time and it would affect her seller rating, which I do understand, but you can just communicate that. And she did have to use her recalibration time or whatever it's called on Fiverr. So the time that she has to correct things and stuff like that. But it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. At the end of the day, the emotes that we ended up happening were nice, but it took forever, and I don't really like that she didn't just clearly communicate stuff like this. Like, literally, she could have just asked me for an extension, and that would have been fine, but that entire, okay, and here is it done, and now we're just going to wait and see. I don't know. Felt kinda weird in my opinion. I didn't give her a negative review for it, but I just didn't give her a second review for it. It's weird because when I first contracted her, she was pretty cheap. She did have a fair price in my opinion for the emote. I think it was like $5 or $6 per emote. I think it might have been a little more. I paid a total of $40 if I remember correctly the first time around I contracted her and got 5 emotes. So okay, so roughly $8 per emote. I don't know if that's an reasonable or unreasonable price, but it felt pretty decent. I don't think, as far as I can tell, going by Fiverr sellers, that's rough. $5 to $10 per emote is kind of the average. Some people go really cheap, and I don't quite understand how they make money. Like, are they just using fixed templates that they've already created and stuff like that? Or how does it work? But I guess people are just very fast when it comes to producing emotes these days. Like specialized emote artists, you don't have to go that in-depth when it comes to the details of an emote, because the actual emote will be very small most of the time. That's one of the reasons why I really like the emote wall feature, because without the emote wall feature, a lot of the details go lost. But since everything's bouncing around on my screen whenever it's posted for a couple of seconds, you can actually appreciate a lot of the details of that emote. And that's nice, that's nice. Weirdly enough, you can actually see the emotes better when you're on phone. Which is weird because you would consider that phone is the smaller screen, therefore the emote will be smaller. But no, on your Android smartphone, or probably also your Apple phone as well, the emotes are actually shown way bigger when you're selecting them. I don't quite understand why, but yeah. Alright, I wanted to go for an impact crater there, which would have been a bad idea anyway, but kind of forgot that I was playing Elemental Hammer the entire time. I still have a couple of open follower emote slots as well, so maybe I'm gonna treat myself and order a couple more emotes. Also maybe change a couple of the emotes, because there are some emotes that people use more and some they use less. GG is probably the most used one. That one always works out. And the shiny emote is also very popular. The angry emote people don't really use as much, but I still think it's a very useful emote for a lot of situations. What else did I have? Hoppa! Maybe I should get a wiggly emote at some point, because there are people literally going around collecting wiggly emotes as the animated emotes, which is a little strange, but whatever makes them happy. There are literally people that subscribe to other people only because they want their wiggly emotes. The funny thing about Wiggly is nobody can even explain where it originally came from. I mean, I guess it's hard to explain where a meme came from a lot of the time, because not every meme can be tracked back to its original source. But whenever a meme spreads this far and is just and its origins are just a mystery, I don't know, it's kind of fun. Whoopa! Okay, so this Ruffian is dying already, so not much is gonna happen there anymore, I think. Reaching you. Oh, there we go, that's the roar. Ow. No, I don't want to sharpen. Okay, you can actually roll out of a sharpen, but only after the sharpening animation has already started. Now we know, now we know. And knowing is half the battle. The other half is incredibly violent. Could you stop it with the running around there? That's why nobody likes you, Raffian. That is why nobody enjoys your company. Okay, there's the second one, and we're going. There we go. GG! Ruffian down. Good hunts, everybody. Good hunt. That was a good maneuver. A good maneuver, everybody. But yeah, nice. It was fun hunting there as a party again. I didn't get to the hunt to the Anomaly Research rank 80 as I planned, but still I prefer to have a couple of hunts with the trio reunited. Always fun when the entire party arrives. So as always, thank you too for joining me on the hunt, but I am going to wrap it up now. So, thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for joining me yet again. I will see you again tomorrow, probably. I don't quite know at which time tomorrow, but I will be back tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for hunting with me. Thanks for lurking in the chat. Whatever you did today that was any form of interaction with the stream, thank you for it. I will go and prepare myself some dinner now, and I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, bye!